Good evening, YouTubers. Welcome to episode 82 of Shrigleytube TV. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoy what you see. Before I forget, massive thanks for all the comments. Really enjoyed reading them all last week. Brilliant as usual. Fantastic to read them all. Now, this week you're going to need like lots of coffee, 4-pack of Red Bull, maybe some Pro Plus because it's going to be a long video. I hope you're okay with that. Just been lots going on. Started off the week with David's 1040 with Dyno that, and then I did a talk on the carburetors on how to set them up on a dyno. So hopefully you get a learn if you're interested in setting your webbers up. Also, we did the thrust release bearing, a bit of machine work on that, and then what did we do then? Then we went to Mark Maynard's place. I was going to deliver the engine to David. He was going to meet me at Mark's, saving driving all the way up, because I had to go and see Mark anyway, and Ben. So went to Mark's, and Mark took advantage of my YouTube video and got everything he could in sight out and tried to sell it on the screen. So hope you enjoy that bit. And then we had a quick catch up with David Ellis, the imp racer. So he's got his engine back. Then I flew over to meet Ben Bolt, but Ben was a prior engagement. So I noticed he was right next to the Museum of British Motor Museum at Gaydon. So I thought, have a quick wander around there. I've got a cheeky hour. So I nipped in there. What a place. Absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed mooching around there. Loads of amazing engines and one-off like prototype cars. I could have talked for hours. Anyway, I just talked for about 15 minutes. So there's some video footage there of different things that I found personally interesting to me. Hope you enjoy it. Then I went to, from there, we went to meet Ben, but I didn't do any video, and I came back. And then the next day I went to see Mike Dent, and he offered to give me a climbing frame for Russell. So it was brilliant. So I went up in the van and disassembled that. Picked up the climbing frame, had a look around his workshop. Fantastic place. Mike, you've really cracked it there, pal. You've got a wonderful place. I mean, I was absolutely green. It's fantastic. And the cars he's working on, you know, the guy's up there working on the best stuff. Brilliant to see, because he deserves it. He's a top man. Anyway, after that, I came back and I went to the opposite end of the scale and worked on Jack's Volvo banger. He wanted to set the cam timing up. Russell wanted to do some video camera in, so I just left it running. It's a bit interesting. Hope you enjoy it. Russell, cameraman in the making, he really enjoyed it. Interesting to see it from a 10-year-old's perspective. He likes zooming in on people's faces and things like that. Just entertaining himself, which was quite interesting to watch. I found it funny anyway. So we did that, and then I've just uploaded, I'm going to upload today's race from Donington Park with Mr. Benoy. He did really, really well. Unfortunately, he's had some sort of glitch in the gear selection mechanism, which made his race cut short by about 7 minutes. But when he was out there, he was doing 1 minute 56.8 on the Melbourne loop, which I think, although we've got nothing to gauge it from, is quite a good time. So I'm confident that he's got the thing working correctly. And I watched the video of him going through the old hairpin at the bottom of the crane of curves, and he had the inside wheel a good 4 inches in the air. And I thought, go on, Simon. You're jockeying that round, pal. Well done, dancing it around the track. So great to see. Unfortunately, not the result we wanted this time, but I'm sure he'll be back at Cadwell in a few weeks' time, and hopefully we'll get the result we want there. Anyway, I'll leave it at that for now, because otherwise you'll be asleep before the film started, and I'll see you all next Sunday at 7. Have a great week. Bye. Good morning, YouTubers. It's Tuesday morning. I've been bad. I didn't do any YouTube videos at all yesterday. Yesterday was obviously Monday, and I was just steady, flat out on the job. I knew I had to get this to a stage where I had the sump on it before I finished work on Monday night, because I needed to run today and be dyno tomorrow because it's going out on Thursday. So yeah, really, really busy day. Didn't lift my head. It was actually quite a good productive day. So sorted that out. I just come to the carburetors now, because basically David said they had a bit of a drip on idle, so we're going to check his float heights and make sure his floats haven't taken any fuel on. If I see anything exciting, I'll report back to you and let you know. If not, I'll join you shortly, early afternoon, on the dyno with this running, hopefully. It's all fresh. It's got the new camshaft in it, and done a bit of a head revision on it, so I'm hoping to see some good numbers out of this 1040. Obviously, it's on his brand new block as well. So yeah, really excited to see how this runs and get it in the outro. Okay, YouTubers, we've got the carbs apart, and I've just brought this carb into the mix because we're going to have a little chat about the difference between a Spanish Weber and an Italian Weber. Now, they both have their own merits. Before we get into that though, I'll just say these carbs, I remember now, these were new with the engine when it was new, so they've not done a great deal. They're a bit grubby, but there's nothing wrong with them. They're perfectly fine. So we're going to give them a bit of a clean up, put them back together again, and get it on the engine and get it running. Now, the Spanish carb, very easily identifiable by the fact it says made in Spain. These are the later carbs. I actually quite like these. They work quite well. I will be honest, these are a nicer carb, the original Spanish carb. So it's got Bologna written right there, and these are a dcoe 31, whereas these ones are dcoe 151. Now, a few changes in the casting you might notice. That one's quite plain in that area, and this one's got this extra, well, I don't know whether you call it an auxiliary air pipe or something, but what happens is it has this needle here, and this is for air. So you can just fine tune each cylinder by allowing air and fuel to go down this extra bypass on the throttle stop. So if you listen down each one, or if you measure the amount of air at idle, you can fine tune it basically by backing this screw off or screwing it in or out. A little extra adjustment there. I always just run them fully in, never touch them. But on an imp, it doesn't need an awful lot of air to run because it's such a small engine. So maybe on a bigger engine it's more useful, but not on an imp. Anyway, so the tops are interchangeable. Obviously that one says Spain. The main thing that if you're looking to work out whether you're buying Spanish carbs or original Italian ones is, if you look at the throttle spindle, can you see these have got these lovely little domed brass screws? Well, on the Spanish Weber, it has these enormous cheese-headed screws, which can't be any good for airflow. Although it doesn't, I have to be honest, I haven't noticed a massive difference on the dyno. However, I always prefer these. Just a nicer carburetor. Anyway, not that there's anything wrong with them. They all work perfectly well. So I'll crack on now, get these cleaned up, get them back together, and we'll get them on the engine again. YouTubers, the carbs are back together, nice and clean. It fires up and runs an absolute treat. Sounds really fruity. I can't wait to see how it performs when we get some load on it, but that's more than likely going to be tomorrow. It'll probably just be nice to it for today. They did have a bit of a problem though. I started the engine up initially and it fired up and idle, and I thought, right, we'll let him warm up, just leave him idling for 10 minutes. And I went in the other room and it stopped, and I thought, bit odd. Oh, I must have forgot to put the fuel pump on. Came in, fuel pump was ticking away. Tried to start it, nothing. Thought, we can't have had two seized dizzies, one after the other, like after Benoy's last week. Anyway, it wasn't the dizzy seized. It was the magnetronic unit, just failed on it. So this is a 45 D4. It's just unscrewed at the moment, hanging down in disgrace there. But I changed the coil first, and I tried to persuade myself it wasn't the magnetronic unit, because they very rarely fail, the magnetronic units. In fact, I've only seen a handful of fail. And normally it's dodgy wiring, to be honest. But there you go. I got a dizzy out of a spare engine. Thought, put that in, see if we can get a tune out of it. Fired up straight away. So I've put that and left it in now. Just because I suddenly thought, that's a 45 D4. That's the later type dizzy. And it's exactly the same make and brand as the one that seized up on Mr. Benoy. So I thought maybe it's a message. So I'm going to leave him on the 25 D4, I think. Anyway, the reason for this video, I just thought to myself, we're running a bit. I'm looking for new things to do that won't bore you to tears. And one question I get asked an awful lot, especially by my customers, is they say, like, oh, the engine's not running quite as sweet as it used to. It's a bit lumpy on idling. It doesn't seem to be on all four. How can I set it up so it runs sweetly? So, I go through it with them on the phone. But I thought what we'll do is we'll go through it together on YouTube, and then we can make it simple. So I'll start the engine up in a minute, and I'll show you how to set them up just on the idle circuit. This isn't about underload or anything. It's purely the idle circuit. So the first thing we'll talk about, I'll just get a screwdriver so I can point, is this little device in the middle here. Do you see this little device? So this is the lever off one carburetor. Let me just zoom in. And this part is the second carburetor. So this one does cylinders 3 and 4, and this one does cylinders 1 and 2, yeah? Understand that? And then you've got what we call a balance screw in the middle of it. It's got some grey glue in it, because I always glue them because they always vibrate. But that grey glue is going to get knocked off, and then we'll put some fresh on. And there's a spring with a screw. So as I turn that clockwise, it pushes this lever this way, which pulls this throttle open. So let me just back off. If you get a piece of tube and put it to your ear, or I use just a cheap stethoscope for a doctor, and put it to the trumpet, not directly on the trumpet, just put it next to the trumpet. I'll just show you. So one end goes to your earpiece, and you just hold it at an angle like that. You don't want to be sucking your eardrums down the carburetor. That wouldn't be good. And you're just listening for the valve shutting. So when you go to the carb, you can hear it pop, 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 pop as the valve lands. Now, obviously, the carburetor that's closed more is quieter than the carburetor that's open more. So if on this instant, say this carburetor was like pop, 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 and this one pop, 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 very loud, that would be telling you that this carburetor has got more opening than the quiet carburetor. So what we'd do is, you see this screw in here, which I can't reach with this short screwdriver. Bad planning here. This screw that's down here, I'm just attacking with the screwdriver here now. If I want carburetor 3 and 4, the back carburetor, to open more, I'd turn that clockwise, and that would bring it this way, and that would give it more opening on that cylinder, on them 2 cylinders. And if I want to put more on these 2 cylinders, I'd undo it, cylinders 1 and 2. So that's how you balance it. So you're listening for the noise to be even across all 4. Or you can buy some like weighted scales that go on, like a measure the airflow. Motorbike people tend to have them. Now, once you've got the balance in order, you've now then got to sort out the slow running circuit. So I took the mains, these are the mains jets that sit here, and these are the slow runners. I took all 4 mains out of this just for the proof of this video, to show you how much the engine runs on the slow running circuit before it requires the main circuit. You know, it's got enough airspeed for the fuel to be dragged through the main venturi. So when we're idling, obviously the fuel's coming along here, and then this little screw determines exactly how much of it gets dragged the wrong side of the butterfly and into the port. So normally they're set, I'd say, between 2 and 3 turns out from stop. So if you screw it all the way in, it'll lock up, and then you back it off, and generally about 2.5 turns. And it's always good to count the flats. So when I do this in a minute, you'll see, you won't hear me talking because the engine will be idling, but you'll hear the engine tone. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the engine idling, and I'm going to go half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. So that one I know is set at 2.5 stops from full in. So half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. And what I'll be doing is I'll screw it in till the engine goes off peak. So you'll hear it on all 4 cylinders, and then you'll hear it go down on the cylinder as I screw it in, because it cuts the fuel off. And then I'm going to come back to where it runs, and then generally go a 1/4 turn richer. So it'll idle there, and we'll just give it a little bit more fuel off from the stop. Yeah, just so it's got a little bit more fuel. And I'll do the same with each cylinder, and you'll hear it and understand. Now what I'll do is, the engine speed's set at 1000 RPM, but I like to do this setting at about 1500, because you just go a bit weaker at 1500. So what I'll do is I'll speed this little screw here, not the balance screw, that's the balance screw. This little one here is the one that is the throttle stop for both carburetors. So that, as I screw that clockwise, it'll hold the throttle open more and gives a little bit more running speed. Right, I'm going to try and do this quickly because I haven't got the fan on, because you won't be able to hear me. So I'm going to probably die of fumigation. So I'll quickly turn the engine on, and I'll show you what I mean with regards to setting the jets up. I'll give it a blip first, and then what I'll do is I'll blip it, so you'll hear it on slow running circuit. Then I'll go wide open, and because it's got no main jets in, it won't draw any fuel through, so it'll just go blip. Right, just give it a bit of fuel. Okay, YouTubers, I hope I made that simple to understand. So you can see that as I screwed it down, I cut the fuel off, and then you could just about make out in the video that when I unscrew it, the cylinder kicks back in again, and then we went about a quarter turn past. So we went about 2.5, 2 1/4, 2 1/4, 2 1/3 or whatever. Obviously, depending on the cleanliness of the carburetors, etc., depends on how well they're balanced. Now, I pulled a slow runner out. It's on a 45 F9 at the moment. That's what size jet it's on. If this carburetor, if the engine were to have wanted, say, 4 or 5 turns out from stop to make it idle, then I would say it would have been worth going up to a 50 F9. So you go to the next size up jet. If I'd have had it idling with just half a turn from full stop, I would have gone down a jet size to a 40 F9. Does that make sense? So the size of the jet controls the range, and the perfect range for me personally that I like is 2.5 to 3 turns. So I'm happy with that. That all seems good. It idles nicely. I pulled the mains out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do some running in, but I always run in with plenty of fuel hanging around. So I'm going to go up a jet size, and we can always pull it back out again. I also do all my advanced settings with a bit more fuel hanging around, because it just acts as a coolant, as well as obviously it slows the burn speed down being rich. So it just means that I'm less likely to wreck the engine before the customer gets it if I've got a bit more fuel hanging around. We'll pull the fuel back out after we've found out where the advance is and what it wants, etc. But I'll get on with that, and then I'll join you on the dyno shortly. YouTubers, some of you may remember last week we talked about how the clutch had been pushing too far in on the fingers. So if I zoom in, you can see the finger is being touched halfway along, whereas ideally we want the clutch bearing to push on the end of the finger. So this was the release bearing that was on there, and I've been dead lucky because I'm going from a box of race bits and I found this. It's a roller release bearing, but it has like a much smaller diameter push. So if I turn this over now so we can see it, it's perfect. It's going to push right on the end of the fingers. It's a nice shape and it's all hardened, so I haven't got to mess about making a hardened nose for this. So the only problem is this is the spacer that came out of the inside of here, and that was pressed onto there, which I was very lucky I was able to get it off. But the new one is a bit big. So the offsets are all the same. Still the all overall height is the same, that and that. What I've got to do is make a sleeve. I'm going to press the sleeve onto the alley, and then we'll top turn it, drop that over, bit of Loctite, everything will be good as gold. That's the plan. Okay, here we are on the lathe. I've just set it up. I found a bit of scrap alley. I'm going to plough through it with the drill, then I'm going to bore it, then what am I going to do then? I'll probably hacksaw it off because I managed to break my parting off tool last week. So then I'll turn it around, clean it all up, drop it onto here, then we'll put this in the lathe, top turn it, boom, that can go on there, and the jobs are good. Okay, we've just drilled and bored that bit of scrap alley, and this is offering itself up nicely, so that'll go in there, that'll press on there. I'm just going to hacksaw this ring off, and then we'll top turn that, and then we'll be good to put the new bearing on. What I've done is I've just literally placed the I've hacksawed that bit of tube off that we bored, pressed it onto the old boss, and now all we're going to do together is face it off with the boring tool, and then we can offer the release bearing up and see if it'll slide on. Facing that off, this is a new release bearing. It won't quite start. It started a little bit. We'll put a bit of Loctite on, press it together. That's the job. YouTubers, I'm going live. It could all go horribly wrong. This, I've laced it in Loctite retainer, and with roughly a couple of thou up on the bore size of the release bearing. So as I go to tighten this in now, that's quite a nice resistance, that, not too tight. Beautiful. So look, Loctite set, just back that off. Perfect, that. Wonderful. One job down. Good morning, YouTubers. It's Wednesday morning. I finished dynoing, well, not finished that. I finished running this engine in yesterday afternoon and did a few gentle squeezes with it just to see what it was going to do. And I was quite pleasantly surprised to see it was actually very strong. So today we are on a bit of a heightened figure because it's what we call a really good air pressure day. So it's high pressure air day. And that means that there's a lot of air waiting to go into the engine through the carburetor, so we get a bit of an exaggerated figure on the dyno, but it's still got a lovely bit of dollop of torque at like 5.5, and then it hangs on pretty well. I think it's going to be a good 105, 110 horsepower. So try and load it with 155 there. See, he's holding a nice steady 80 foot-pound there. We'll just back it off. Goes again. Nice, really strong now. So 7 is still holding 84. 75, 84. Strong that. Yeah. The air pressure does help, but that's about as good as a 1040 gets, that. So yeah, really pleased with it. I'm going to whiz it off now and stop waffling, because tomorrow we're delivering it. We're meeting David down at Mark Maynard's workshop, so hopefully we'll speak to Mark and maybe he'll let us have a little snoop around his workshop, get some video footage. Good morning, YouTubers. It's Thursday morning and I've travelled down here to see this man, Mr. Mark Maynard. Mark's very kindly agreed to show me around his workshop. We've also got David, who's going to pick his engine up shortly, so we'll get on to him. But first of all, thanks for agreeing to talk to us, Mark.
All right, no worries.
So we're doing some promo, some of his new goodies that he's got for sale. I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll have a quick look at what he's got, and you can show us some of your bits, some of your shiny bits, mate. Right, I'm just upstairs in the Mark Maynard treasure trove. I can see. That looks like a remarkably strong imp. That's had floor edges and all sorts, hasn't it?
Front radiator and all sorts of stuff in it.
We've got special engines here, long ones with front covers and
bike engine there, look.
Bike engine. There's
trials car there.
Trials car.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a trials car. That one, is it? Oh, is that they go up in the hill? Up the hill in the mud.
That's right. Plug in that, you know.
And we've got computers. We've got racing cars. Oh my God! There's just cars and stuff everywhere, isn't there? Anyway. I mean, I thought I'd got a lot of machinery condensed into my place and stuff, but this is part of your stand, isn't it, that you take to the shows?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Right, Mark. Show us some goodies, mate.
We've got a few goodies. Yeah, what
have we got?
We've got some new things. We'll start with this one.
What's this one?
It's really nice, this is.
Oh, what I'm going to say is I'm going to zoom in on Mark's card.
Yeah, okay.
So,
happy days.
Just zoom in on
Use
that.
the mobile number of this one.
Mobile number?
Yeah, definitely.
There, 07957 855 330. There you go.
There you go.
Right.
So
don't use Messenger because Mark's had a problem with Messenger.
Messenger's a waste of time. Use WhatsApp preferably.
Right.
WhatsApp's
WhatsApp's good. Messenger.
Email's a pain in the arse. There we go. Right. So there's a new product we just had. Vernier pulley. It's actually lighter than the standard pulley.
Wow.
And does the job.
Excellent. What do they retail at?
They are. What have we got? They're 140 quid really.
Plus the dreaded.
Plus the dreaded, yeah.
Plus the dreaded.
Yeah, it is.
Wow, that's lovely that, and it's got little degree markers on it as well, hasn't it?
Yes.
That's class, that.
Yeah, decent. They're hardened washers under there as well, so decent washers. Really nice bit of kit, really.
Is it lighter than standard?
Lighter than standard.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Might have to invest in one of them, give it a try, give it a review. If they give it a review and a good review, do I get it for free?
You get it cheaper.
Brilliant.
Right,
what else have we got here, Mark?
Just remind people we've got quite a few of these.
Oh yeah,
and
lovely.
A batch of those made.
Works type.
Works dashes.
You put some MGB dials in there, can't you?
You can, yeah, it'd be perfect for that. There we are. Then we've got quite a few of those.
What else have we got here? What's this differential? This looks expensive.
Yeah, there's a jackknife diff. Just done a few of these.
What manufactured? Remanufactured?
These are new bits. completely new bits because these they crack through here.
Oh,
the original one has a sharp corner and they crack off.
Oh,
so ours got a nice radius in here.
Oh,
which does mean you might have to modify the pulley, the gear a little bit.
we could just
because they vary quite a lot.
Right, okay. On the inside, the
yeah, but that's a nice radius in there. That's job done.
So this is cam and Paul, is it?
It is. It's just yes, it is.
And have you got new outputs made to go with them, or?
No, it's just that one bit we've made.
Just that one bit.
They seem to write a lot of diffs off like now. Need to make some pawls, I think, because no pawls about. So we need some of those. Because obviously with those Cord Sport doing those diffs, obviously not many people are using those now, but.
Right, yeah, I like the cam and Paul. You could buy the Pauls from Elite Gearboxes.
Oh yeah,
yeah, you can get them direct from Mark.
Oh, perfect. That's the job done then. I'll do that. Just doing another batch of these.
Another batch of these.
We're going to make us.
They come finished to take it.
Yeah, they come finished. Yeah, this one's not finished.
This one's just straight out of the casting, is it?
But it's I've got to make some more of these because a few people want them.
Very nice.
It might be a little bit more than that, but maybe that's 200 quid-ish sort of thing.
Look at this gearbox here. That's the gearbox casing you're making, it, with the uprated housing.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Yeah, that's the very first one I ever made. That one.
Is it? Right.
Yeah, it's done a lot of years. That is.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Excellent.
Well, I've just got a few other bits and bobs to show you.
Right.
Over on the plug, we do. There's a bit of the bolt-on bit, breather, a bigger pipe on there.
Breather, bigger pipe. Yeah. Easy to fill.
We did make them out of plastic, but they melted, so I don't know what to do. So we've got Marley now. That works really well. So a few of those.
Surprising.
We make these, and you can buy them, but we make them with the original part number on.
Oh
so
wow!
So it looks original. So if anyone wants an original one, we have them.
Super.
30 quid, but you know.
Yeah, no. Well, you know what? If the job's right, don't matter the price.
I had a few of these made as well.
Oh yeah, they're for the Solex.
I'm not to drill them yet, but they're.
Well, you can put them to you can drill them for SU,
want, really.
SU or Solex.
Yes, yeah. This we've done for quite a few years now. We've just done another batch of these. Constantly doing these. High capacity oil pumps with bronze gear on.
Very nice.
Really nice bit of kit.
Excellent.
Really job. So do those really nice.
How much are they?
The pump is 160 and the gear is about 80 quid.
Right.
Fit it on free if you want it. Yeah.
So what's that? Is that a jackknife crown wheel? Is it pinion?
Yeah, it is, mate. Yeah, I've done these for years, like, you know.
Oh.
Used to do them for Dennis, like, you know.
Yeah. Because it's a standard shaft with the spline.
It is the box standard shaft, but just with a spine on it, you know.
Yeah. And does that come with a matching crown wheel, or do you just run it in gently?
Well, you can have run. Most of them don't come with crown wheels, but
right.
if you've got a pair,
yeah,
you've taken one out of the gearbox. I might keep that as a pair, like, you know.
Oh, right, yeah, brilliant. So how much is that then, exchange?
About 350 for the shaft.
350 plus the dreaded.
Plus
right.
the dreaded, yeah, that's it.
That's good. That's handy to know, because these do wear out. They only last a certain amount of time in the race cars. You start to howl.
We've got a super finisher here as well.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah,
you can super finish them as well, which obviously makes them much more
beautiful,
durable, like, yeah.
Beautiful.
So we do it.
Well, what I was asking, Mark, was would it be possible if we just went into your part and I'd look at some of the machinery downstairs, because I've never seen.
Model down there because they're just moving everything around.
Yeah, this is Mark's new place. This is upstairs, so he's got. I mean, just look at the shelving, crikey.
But, you know.
Can't say that word, but
okay.
That might be children watching. I'll have to edit that out.
Yeah.
Right, Brill, let's go downstairs.
Oh,
right, some leads.
Yeah, I sell Magna Core leads, have done for years. They're the best leads, they're just really good, like, you know. Good as gold.
Lovely.
We do the 8mm blue ones and we do
They're
the
smart,
7mm black ones.
How much are they?
They are about 80 quid-ish.
Right, cool. Just all good for you. People are watching and they're thinking I might have some parts for me imp. It's good to know what the prices are.
Yeah,
and,
that's it.
you know, Brill. Right, let's go downstairs. Right, we just wandered down some steps into another cubby hole. And Mark was just telling me he does a full range of valves. I buy these valves off Mark. It's just like, you do standard sport, standard imp Mark II, all the way up to...
We do sport and we do 1.4s, 1.3s and 1.125s.
Right.
All with wasted stem.
Brilliant.
Yeah, the stem's chromed as well, so they're better than the original.
Yeah, they don't wear, do they? Once they're fit and forget, aren't they?
Yeah.
Wow, look at this stuff. What's in your hand there, Mark?
Oh, we got a clutch with it.
It's like a competition race.
Yeah, it is. It's a decent clutch right now. Best material you can buy now. You can't buy asbestos anymore, so we do quite a few of these. I've had these specially made.
Is that one cheaper now it's opened?
What do you like? So that's the one we sold. It's a really decent clutch. It's the best clutch that was fitted.
How much are they, mate?
They're 50 quid a go.
Plus the VAT.
Yeah.
Right, brilliant. Yeah, it's standard replacement for the Laycock.
Yeah, but they stand a bit of state. if you wanted something a bit more...
Look at these brake calipers. Yeah, oh, look, there's another vernier. Oh, I recognise that.
It's heavy, that one.
It is heavy, that one, isn't it? I made that when I was about mid-20s, I think, when I was working at Bob's.
There we go. We do a lot of these. That's a reconditioned one there. Look.
Oh, yeah, these are the good ones.
Yeah,
these, aren't
that's a
they?
reconditioned one.
I prefer these.
Yeah, and good jobs.
Yeah.
All up to about 100 horsepower. So that's BMW ones, BMW ones.
Oh, so you do a bigger one?
Yeah, I do a bigger one for the BMW.
Some gaskets up here and that.
Yeah, we do a lot of that. And obviously got people the gaskets and stock.
There's the poorly racing, mate. He's not fixed it yet.
No, he's a bit tired, isn't he, that one?
Yeah.
He'll be all right, you go again. He'll be all right.
It was very relaxing for me to hear that you crashed into the wall, because guess what I did that year? I crashed into the wall as well. I think I made more of a mess of mine than you did.
But yeah, here we go again. We can keep a lot of these.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're good then. They're brilliant.
We also do two types. We do the ones for the
for the sleeve carrier.
The sleeve carriers. We do those
this
as well.
guys, in case you don't realise, is for if you have a situation where you're trying to fit like really thin shims in to get a clearance, so you end up in the 60s and 70s. That 20 thou spacer goes under the cam carrier between the head, and that takes you back into the normal range of like 90 thou for your shims.
We got loads of those. Various different
brilliant.
thicknesses as well. I grind them down.
And
wicked. See what you want, right now.
Excellent.
So,
right, let's take a look downstairs.
Got the wheels, rings and everything else we've got.
Oh, Mark supplies me with everything, don't you, Mark, really?
Try to.
Between you and Ben.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he's always very... You are, I've got to say, Mark, I do think you're quite good at sending the stuff out. I tend to ring you, ring you, and it's in the post the same day or next week, or next day.
So we do big range of camshafts. We've got 18 different camshafts in stock.
18 different camshafts?
Different profiles, which are all in stock.
Wow. Not as good as mine.
The other thing I've got some brand new Solix carburetors, then you want some. The later type with a 24mm choke.
Wow.
100 quid a go, so we've got loads of those.
Excellent. Let's keep going down. Look at this. Look at the stock. This guy's got more of a hoarding issue than me. Thought I was a bad hoarder. I love how he squeezed that battery on the end of the step there. It's just made use of that bit of space. Bit of blue roll on a step as well. What have we got going in here? To the honer.
The honing machine, we do all my honing on here. That's not honed yet, that's waiting to be done.
Wow,
so
wicked. Proper honer.
All it does is in blocks, and that's just just for that, right?
I stand next to the machine with something called a wrist snapper. What's this?
Seat cutting machine.
Seat cutting machine.
Yeah, put seats in and that sort of stuff. But,
excellent. Excellent. Got your pilots there. Grinder.
We just moved down here, so
honer.
Yeah, maybe a bit of tooling at the minute for that.
Wow. Some Hillman cranks. You've got floor space, that's something.
Yeah, we've got floor space, yeah. We've got
tools, axle off a Land Rover. Yeah. Another racing. Which racing? Lift.
Under there.
That's the rally car, is it?
Space frame under there.
Space frame. Yeah, you need to get that back out again.
They do. Need to get a bit of history on it. Yeah.
Wow, there's even an imp engine up there on the shelf. Look.
Yeah, there's imps everywhere. Like, there's loads of tyres and wheels. We do. That's a really good one. We do a back box for an imp.
Oh right, show me.
It goes underneath the. Yeah, just off a minute. Okay.
Okay, Mark. The last item.
Yeah.
Okay, mate, because you've got to go. Oh, look at that. So is that straight through? Has it got an
S-bend?
No,
it's not. It goes into there and then back round like that. So that will fit under an imp. That would actually fit under an imp back panel.
Does that not fit the? Does that not catch now?
You can get it to fit.
Because the jam speed must be quite close there.
It is all quite close, but it fits on there, you know.
It does fit on.
It's a 2-inch bore.
Right.
You fit quite a few of them.
And how much is that?
They're about 100 quid.
100 quid, and it's quiet, is it?
No, not particularly.
No.
But it's not horrendous, but it's not. Don't pretend it's quiet, because it's not. But it's.
Yeah, the carburation noise alone's quite a lot.
Quiet, you know?
Yeah. Oh.
100 quid. Yeah, about that. 120 quid probably.
120 quid.
120.
Right, Mark, thank you so much for showing us round. David's just pulled up. I know you've got another appointment to go to, so I'll grab some bits and pieces off you before you go, and then I'll let you crack on, mate. But thank you so much for showing us round. It's been an eye opener. It's nice to see that someone else is good at condensing lots of material in one space. All right, cheers, Mark.
Cheers, Andy.
Right, the best bit about coming here to Maynard's has just been I spotted this in his unit. It's an old school Linisher 3-phase, and I've got like a pretend Black & Decker one that stops as soon as you load it up. So thank you, Mark. This is the absolute biz.
This is the ideal.
That's proper that. What year do you reckon it is?
70s probably.
70s.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Mint that. I'll get that in my new place. I might even paint it.
Yeah, give it a coat of paint, $1 million, look.
Brilliant. And over here we've got a high-powered modern car. How's it going, mate?
All good, yeah.
This is
all
David.
Good.
This is his engine. Looks quite well in there, David. Looks like it's meant to be. So we out soon, are we? I believe, Brands Hatch?
Yeah, Brands Hatch. Yeah, we're off on the Easter weekend.
Brilliant.
See what we can do with this thing.
Excellent. Well, just take it real easy and just enjoy it. And remember, it's all about smiling. And if the positions come, they come, don't they?
They do.
Yeah. So just take it easy, mate. But yeah, brilliant. I'm well jealous that I won't be there, but you know, maybe next year I'll see you there.
Next time,
yeah. I hope the sun shines for
Save
you.
your pennies.
Yeah. There's Brands Indy as well, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah, June.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I'm not being flippant, but it's not actually about the money. It's the time.
Yeah,
It is. I can't devote the time to get in the car where it needs to be.
Me too.
With the commitment with work and everything. So we'll do that first, get the workshop all moved, and then we'll revisit the imp job and hopefully come out and try and catch James and Brendan and Steve Platts and Adrian. It's got real competitive this year. There's loads of them.
8 imps out on Brands. So.
I know, 8 imps at Brands is there? Oh man, I wish I was going. Well, any questions, just bell me as always, and yeah, brilliant. Okay, Mark, the last sales pitch you can do.
We've got no new products here. We have got some gaskets I've had made. I've been doing these Victor Rhines material gaskets for quite a while.
Right.
But they're quite expensive, but very good. So I've made some of the same gaskets, same spec, but not Rhines material.
Right.
And some people like Rhines material because it's just the best, but these are the same spec as that. But these here are, we got 70.5 is 875 and 930.
Yeah.
We got 74.5.
Yeah.
Seem to have two of those for some reason. We've also got 75.
75, big and 1068.
Yeah. So that's obviously sometimes the lines aren't in the right place and stuff, you know.
Oh
so,
yeah. Just
so just gives you a little bit more leeway, like that.
Brilliant.
They're joined together on the back. Really nice pressing.
Lovely job, and they're a bit more reasonably priced.
Yeah, they are. They're 35.
35 and
they're
65.
65. Yeah, as opposed to 125 for the Rhines one. So really good job, like selling a lot of them. Use your head studs with them.
Right.
Got to use head studs, really. Much better than bobs.
Brilliant.
All right, mate.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Cheers, Andy.
Hey, YouTubers, bit of an Andy treat here. I was on my way to see a chap called Ben Bolt, a good friend of mine, and he's not at the house yet. So I thought, just noticed there was this museum. It's the British Motor Museum at Gaydon. So I thought, it's right near his house. He's not arriving for another hour. I'll go and have a cheeky look round. There's some classic MGs in the car park. I like that one there. Smart, isn't it? So yeah, I thought we'd take ourselves inside, see if we can find some engineering that's interesting. Just walked into the museum and the first thing I spotted, an early Granada. Look at that. This is what we call a pre-facelift, so it's got the small bumpers. Such a pretty car. Look at that. Oh, it's got black leather in it as well. Automatic. Is it a 2.8 gear? Oh wow. Oh no, and look at this. Oh my god. Look at this. A Sierra Sapphire Cosworth. That is absolutely beautiful. I don't even know what colour that is. I've not seen that colour before. It's not moonstone. It's not crystal. It's left-hand drive. Oh no, it's a 4x4, look. Reverse gear is over and to the right-hand side, so it's not got a Borg Warner type. Sorry, it's a Borg Warner T5 gearbox in the two-wheel drive, so that's a 4x4. That it's got late wheels on. I should have spotted that. Lovely colour though. Look at that RS200 rally car. This place is just caught my eye. It's a lawnmower. I've no idea how it works though, because it's obviously a petrol engine because it's got a spark plug. That's the inlet from the carburetor, but it looks like that's the exhaust valve there. So where's the inlet valve? One push rod. Fascinating. Maybe a viewer can shed some light on how that works. Just spotted this high-speed machine here. Look at these engines. I think I'm right in saying they're like Triumph motorcycle engines with enormous turbochargers on them. There's the drive shaft. Let's check these Austin racing cars out from back in the day. Absolutely beautiful machines. They just sit so nice. Look at that for a dashboard. Imagine racing that. Another one here. Blue one here. It's got a side valve engine. Probably them wonky ones with a bit. 2 main bearings, one at each end. Look at that. That's his nice little inlet trumpet there. Beautifully made. I wonder what year all this was. 1935. Wow. I absolutely love this. I hope my dad watches this film one day. This programme, sorry. This is a MGBGT. It's been sliced in half. So you can see all the workings. Look at that. There's your crown wheel and pinion. Drive shaft. Left hooker. And they got the gearbox. Flywheel, the engine. These radiators. Look at that. That's good to see that. No wonder you can get them to 1950cc, no problem. Plenty of wall thickness there. Brilliant idea. Very spotted this absolute beauty of a car here. And that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. But this one, there's a video of a car, not this one, but similar, from Bathurst in Australia. It's on YouTube. Well worth a watch. The sound of it is absolutely amazing. I think it was Tom Walkinshaw driving it, and it was just an absolutely, the way he drove it, he danced it around the circuit. Well, oh, look at that, a Metropolitan. I love those. I saw one of those at a banger race meeting once. I was nearly in tears. That is such a pretty little car. Why did we make such fantastic stuff and now we're stuck with a load of rubbish? That is amazing. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh, Alvis TE21. My dad had one of these. TEs have got the, and the TFs have got the headlights, the dual headlights. I think the TFs had triple SUs, that one will have twin SUs. A TE, yeah, TE21. Lovely old bus this. Dad used to take me to school in one of them. Oh, look at that, the Reliant Regal. Brilliant. Look at that. My missus used to go on holiday in one of those. A Princess. Is it a Princess? Oh, it's a Wolseley, that one. What's that? It's a Hillman. Found a Hillman. Oh, beautiful. Look at him, little Imp Super. That is stunning. I love it. Scimitar, Metroid. Wow. Brilliant. I need to come back here for a whole day. As a kid, I absolutely loved Back to the Future. 1.81, was it gigawatts? And then you could go back in time. Is that the original car that Marty and the Professor are in? Wow. Brilliant. Absolutely awesome. Had the PRV V6 engine in it. Peugeot, Renault, Volvo. I had one for a while. Sounded nice, but flat as the witches. Anyway, yeah, very nice. Look at this stunner. 2-door Range Rover. I love these. Absolutely beautiful lines. Look at that. First luxury 4x4. Del Boys Capri. The real thing. Just check that interior out. It's absolutely stunning. Now these have really grown on me over time, especially the V8 powered ones. Watching Tony Pond in the rallying back in the day with these, amazing. That's a 7, that one. Another car just caught my eye as well. It's all sorts of concept cars and speed record cars and all sorts. Look at that, original 6R4. Wow. Twin cam V6. Apparently it was 2/3 of a Rover V8 engine. Don't know how true that is. What's this? Looks dangerous. Wow. Just thought to take a picture or make a video of this. It's an original drawing board with like a counterweight on it. That's what all these wonderful cars will have been drawn on by a draftsman. Just a computer now. We're really missing out, aren't we? Imagine getting that for Christmas Day. Like a model Range Rover. Build it yourself. Wow. And this, look at this little Morris 1100 here. It's like a scaled down version. Absolutely awesome. That's brilliant. A Lenham. My mate Andy C used to race one of these. Crashed it into the pit wall at Donington Park. Nasty. Look at this. That's a Triumph Dolomite Sprint engine with Bosch. That's Kugelfischer, isn't it? Like what's on my BD. Mechanical fuel injection. Stunning. Wonder how many horsepower it produced. The Unipart. Look at that. Let's see what it says on the... you can always pause this and look into it. 165 horsepower. I thought it was on more than that. Oh, it's on a restrictor. It will have been one of them 14-to-1 engines with no air available. Here we are now, look at this. This is like the most successful Formula 1 engine of all time. Ford DFE. Look at that. Superb design. Amazing. Look at that. If Formula 1 cars look like that, I'd pay £1,000 to go and watch them at Silverstone. Look at that. I bet it sounds awesome as well. I had to get a little video of this. 1971 Shadow. Is it a Shadow 1? Look how beautiful that is. Look at the quality. Absolutely stunning. V8, 120 mile an hour. Look at that. Absolutely enormous. Love the car park. Something, because I'm about to go in the second part of the museum. I just spotted this absolutely beautiful. I think it's another TE or TF21. Just look at the lines on that. It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? And interesting thing about the engine in these is Alvis made them with the timing chain at the flywheel end of the engine, which was quite novel at the time. As I get closer, honestly, you can't smell it obviously sat at home, but it smells absolutely amazing. I can smell the leather and the carpet. Beautiful. I absolutely love these cutaway view engines. This is an AJ6 engine, basically the XJ40 engine that's in my Jag. This is the cutaway view of it. You can see it's a 16 valve, 4 valve per cylinder job. Aluminium block, iron liners. You see the iron liner cast in. And there's a water jacket there. Fascinating, lovely design. This is the predecessor to the AJ6. This is called an XK engine. They did these in like from 2.4 to 4.2, I think. All different sizes. What I remember is the 3.8. But this one's a military version. Maybe it's designed to run on multi-fuels and stuff. Great design. 2 valve per cylinder. Timing chain. Fantastic. There's the quad cam heads off the V12 prototype. Can you imagine the weight of them? They one that decided on a single cam. There's the 6-pot XK head. And there's a 4-pot XK, never seen one of them before. I got excited for a second. I thought it was an MGA cylinder head, but it's not. Look at this. This is a Jaguar F1 Cosworth engine. Just look at that. How good is that? I like these stepped headers here, watching Will Parry. Interesting, isn't it? They've done that. It's not stepped at the port, stepped about 6 inches down. Very interesting. You see inside the inlet there? Not very well. Too much reflection. So compact. And I don't think it's quite 90 degrees either. I think it's 60 degrees. I just found the tag down here. This is one of the proper engines that ran to 17,800 RPM. Wow, that'd be busy inside at that speed, wouldn't it? Here's that little cute 4-pot that we saw the head before. That's the complete engine. 4-cylinder, 2-litre XK engine. Just look at this absolute beast of a thing. That's its fuel fillers. No wonder it needs 2. Look at that. Oh, that is absolute machine, isn't it? Manual gearbox, obviously. I'd imagine it's got like a V12 engine in it. Let's see what it says. Broad speed V12. Some later Jag engines here. This is the AJ16 with the much later one with the coil over plug. But this is a real peach of an engine. This is a later V12. This is a 6 litre with a much better fuel injection system on it, a bit more stroke. Really good engine that. I'd love one of those again. Just caught my eye, just interesting, called a Ingenium engine. And I'm loving the way they've sprayed it silver to disguise the fact it's made out of plastic. But interesting, like the Elvis, it's got its timing chain at the back of the engine. This is the diesel version. Nothing too non-conventional there. Overhead cam with a finger rocker and a hydraulic opposite side. Now, what was interesting was I found this engine over here. This is the Ingenium petrol engine, and I can't work out what's going on with it. I suspect it's conventional on that side with a rocker and a cam, but what's going on this side? I just don't understand it. It looks like the cam operates the finger and the spring, and then maybe it's like a hydraulic plunger so they can vary the inlet rate. Answers on a postcard, please. Just found a Mini chopped up, and it's only when you look at it like this you can appreciate the genius of the design, you know, to utilise space within the car. Looks like there's plenty of leg room there if you were a shorty driving. Absolutely brilliant, that. Cutaway Land Rover with the best engine in the world fitted. Look at that, Rover V8, awesome. Oh, we're in for a treat, an Andy treat here. Just spotted this, I don't know what it is. I think it might be is it an A40? A40, yeah. But what is this? I was just talking before about the twin cam MGA engine. Look at that. I did some work years ago at a place called Entune Garage in Rochdale, and the bloke who owned it, Mike Empressel, had a race car with an MGA race car with an MGA engine in it, twin cam like this, and it was called Kitty because the reg number was KTY something and I was just blown away and fascinated by the engine. It's basically an MGA or B 3 bearing bottom end, I think I'm right in saying, like 1600 I think originally, and then they put this twin cam head on it. I'd love to get my hands on one. On YouTube there's a story about a Longbridge tunnel with these cars that were like shoved in them all them years ago, and they just sat there. Look at this, this is out of the tunnel. It's actually remarkably solid. Something revving up down there. Just look at that, that's a proper machine, that, isn't it? A Lotus Carlton, I believe. And a police car, P38 Range Rover. Brilliant. Look at that. Oh my lord, look at this engine lineup. I'm in heaven. What have I got here? What looks exciting? S series, never heard of that. K series. What's that one? Is that on an O series down there? I think so. Yeah, really. That's a dolly. An 8-valve dolly. A Rover. I don't know what that is. I think that is a Rover V6 concept engine. Oh, and that must be a... Oh, look at that. That is what looks to be a dolly engine with a proper 16-valve head on it. What's it say it is? 2.2 single overhead camshaft. That's confusing. Maybe it's like the Dolomite Sprint setup. This is a real special thing, this. A Brian Hart V10. Read that. Brian Hart was a very, very clever man. Look at that. Stunning. What's that? Rover 8 air-cooled engine. I have no idea. Must be like a 2-cylinder horizontally opposed, like a much like a Citroen 2CV. What's this? An R series. Ah no, I think is that one of the mini gearbox? It is, isn't it? What CC was that one? 1600. So this is the bigger version. Bob's got the smaller version of the overhead cam engine that goes on the A series. We'll try and find that next. Gearbox, what's that? 1.6 litre. Is it a 3-cylinder? No, it's a 4-cylinder. What's that? 1600. Don't know what that is. I'll recognise that big heavy lump there. B series, 64. Is it a free bearing? Nope, it's a 5 bearing. This is a very interesting engine. It's a Rover V8, but they called it the Perkins Iceberg. I'm not quite sure why they call it the Iceberg engine. I think it's something to do with the crankshaft. That's it. It's got diesel injectors in it, and it's turbocharged. Bet it's a rare engine, that. I found it. This is what Bob's got. He's got one of these engines. God knows where from, but it's basically an 8-port overhead cam mini engine. So it's a mini bottom end, aluminium head, overhead cam, 8 ports. I just found this little beauty next to it, so let's see what it says about that one. You can always pause if you've got time and have a read. There's that one there. That's a K series. Iron block though. Really interesting, belt driven. With a gearbox on the back. Doesn't like. When I recognise this, it's a Morris Marina exploded engine, so you can see exactly how it works. See the crankshaft and the conrods and the piston and the liners, and obviously it's a series, so it's got 3 mains, 1, 2, 3, like the Imp. Look at that, brilliant. You can see all the watermarks. And this is the Siamese port, so it has 2 inlet ports, 1 here and 1 there, and this is where the valves go here. So it's Siamese port, they call it. So you've got 5 ports in total. Brilliant. Absolutely awesome. Must have took some apprentices some time to chew that apart and paint it all. What's this? 4 litre. Oh, this is what we call a cross-bolted block. So this is a later engine, the Range Rover engine, we'll call it. Slight changes. Oh, and the Metro Turbo O series. Cracking lump, that. I think I'm right in saying that's the same bottom end structural integrity or design, should we say, as the later 16 valve one that I had to go over at Donington Park. Not sure what that is. Oh, Ford Juratorque. I'm not going to video that. I remember these in the scrapyards. I was always fascinated by the SU carburetor on back to front. So you see, it's called, is it an S? What's it? It's an S series. They were in Maestros, and that gearbox, believe it or not, is a Volkswagen Golf gearbox. You might recognise it by the starter being sat on that side. But yeah, it's got some sort of heat plate device here. You know, it's all about getting the fuel to atomise. Quite a good little lump. I think they were quite a good engine, to be fair, belt driven. What's this here? Triumph engine, is it? Oh, it's a 1500 midget engine. Oh, these were a great engine, honest. Yeah, they were in Heralds and Black Bumper midgets. So it actually had 8 ports. So I suppose it's a bit of ahead of its time there. I remember Bob Jones did one of these 1500 midgets for a guy called John Hewitt in the Cockshoot Cup, and it was an absolute rocket. Nothing could catch it. Don't know what that one is. Austin prototype engine. Oh, it's another one of the overhead cams. Is it on a late A+ block? Oh, it's on a right. That's like a marina block with the oil filter there, but with an overhead cam. Yeah, that's the same as what Bob's got. What's this one? TD5 diesel. Another fascinating engine. This one's a Austin Morris K series, iron block, belt driven. Oh, it's the same as the other one we saw a minute ago. Don't know what that would have been meant for. Maybe it just never made it into production. Looks like a Mini in the way the clutch is all the wrong way around. That's a Viva, 63 Viva. These were a good engine, these. They made it into the front wheel drive Novas 1.2, so my mate had one. Thrashed it everywhere, never blew up. What's this? This looks like a B series. It's an early B series, it's a small one, 1500. So this will be a free bearing one, like a Cambridge engine, I think. Oh, and this is a Rover prototype engine. 2.5, triple SUs, unevenly spaced. Oh, it's a 5-pot. Wow, I didn't realise. You can actually see the weld where they cut a section out of the head. Brilliant. Yeah, that sounded nice. 5-cylinder, 2.5. Beautiful. Look at this, it's like a Metro with a Nova boot on it. I've just been talking about Novas. God, there's so much here. I'm gonna have to come back. It's just cars everywhere. Oh my God, I've just seen something that made my heart race. It's a Jelly Mold Astra Mark II. Is it a 16 valve? See these wheels? They were called teardrops. They were beautiful. How can we... Oh, it is, it's a 16 valve, look. This car was revolutionary because it had an LCD display dashboard. You won't be able to see it here, but rainbow trim in it. Beautiful. Fast car, that. Okay, chaps, I think we've finished at the museum now. Quick dash round before going to see Ben. And I'm going to leave you with this picture of manufacturing radiators in Coventry. What really saddens me is not one single person has got a smile on their face. But anyway, there you go. We've moved on since then. Good morning, YouTubers. It's Friday morning. That's the Russell Meister. Uh-oh, he's made a mistake. He's doing some radio control car shell cutting out. How's the swing, Russell?
It's good.
Well, you might notice, YouTubers, the race bus there. We pulled the Ullman out of it because we have come to see my mate Mike Dent. Mike, such a generous guy, he basically ran me and said, I've moved house and there's a swing and I don't want it. It's taking up valuable car parking space.
Not quite, I'm not allowed to park cars on there.
Mike, this is a really impressive place, mate. You've got so much space, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's another one round it. Oh my God.
They're everywhere.
Mike, I like your t-shirt, your jumper, by the way.
Thank you.
Mate, can we talk about this in here? I got really excited when I saw this.
Yeah.
I mean, I got really excited about everything. I got excited about the unit, and then I saw this. And tell me a bit about this engine. Is it a Ford BDA, is it?
Yep.
So...
Just been refreshed.
Oh, right.
Because the car, me and my friend Haggis built that from a bare shell. Ashlights Motorsport did all the bodywork prep, the roll cage, seat mountings and all the rally prep basically. And then a kit components came to us and we built it. So
wow.
Full Atlas axle, Riger dampers on it.
Oh, it's a no expense spare job, this, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, look at the dashboard, that is lovely.
Yeah, Haggis made that.
Oh, it's got a Haggis loom in it as well, is it?
Haggis loom in it, yeah.
Wow. So I take it it's done a bit. It looks like it's got a bit of pebble dash underneath. Where's it been?
Alaska to Mexico. And then, sorry, I'm in the wrong place.
No, it was the sun was behind you. Alaska to Mexico.
Alaska to Mexico, yeah. And it won that rally. So
it won?
That was good.
Was that its first ever rally?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. 14,000 kilometres it did.
So that engine did 14,000 kilometres, and then the people that refreshed it said it was everything was like new in it.
No, it did 14,000 kilometres and then got put in a shipping container in Los Angeles and went and did the road to Hanoi.
Wow.
Which I think was another 8,000 kilometres, something like that.
Yeah.
And then the car came back. We had it for a couple of weeks, give it a quick look over, and then it did Austria to Athens.
That is impressive.
For the end of the season, so yeah, they stripped the engine down completely, and they reckon they could have just left it running, but because of the length of the events, the entry fees and everything.
Yeah, I bet it's quite costly to do an event like that, plus all the shipping costs.
Shipping costs, your flights and everything. So on the side of caution, the engine was refreshed, gearbox has been refreshed, the axle has been refreshed, the dampers are away being rebuilt by a Riger specialist.
It's nice when the job's done properly, isn't it?
Oh yeah, makes it easy.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It makes it easier. If everything's right and new, I've always said that. New parts,
It's proven
you get the best out of them.
Proven it with its reliability, and you know, the last thing you want to do is fly all the way to Canada and break down on day one.
Yeah, because I don't think he'd be going EasyJet, will he?
No.
No. Mate, what are these other cars here? We've got some more cars. We've got rally cars. Clan Crusader.
So, this is in for a bit of work. The seats lowering on the mounts.
Right.
The coolant system was plumbed back to front, so we've done that. Bit of tidy up on the original wiring.
Is that my blue paint?
I don't know.
It says 11:1 in blue paint, but it doesn't look like one of mine.
It's not your engine.
All right.
But you have had it on your dyno. You set the cam timing up on it for them.
Oh, is this, I know the bloke, nice bloke, Dave Critcherty.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember he brought it down, it was a Mark Maynard engine. And
it's now been bought by Ivan, who has the blue plan with a BMW engine and electric windows and
oh, wow.
all sorts of fancy things.
Oh, hang on, this is more my cup of tea here. The Hillman department.
Yeah.
Weight is the enemy of speed, Alan Brown.
Yeah, so that's Alan Brown, Quest Big Brakes, man.
Oh, is that Alan?
Yeah.
I've not seen Alan for ages. How is he?
He's okay.
Excellent.
Okay. So that's his, that's mine at the back.
Your race car there, your rally car.
Yeah.
It's got some trophies, that one on it. Tell us the history, Mike. What did it win?
North of England Historic Championship. So it's a Targa type special test event with regularities. We won that, and we won the Spade Adam Blue Street Rally outright, including beating all the modern cars that were in Targa class.
Right, well, I don't want to cause any trouble, mate, but you know Ed Linton? I said to Ed, my mate, Mike's going to come back out and beat you. And you know what he said? He said he won't come out. He's not got a chance of catching me.
I can't imagine Ed saying that.
I was just trying to bait you into getting back behind the wheel.
Well, I was funny. I was talking to Agis last night actually, and yeah, we need to be back out. So,
You do, don't you?
Yeah. When I get this workshop squared off and
mate.
sorted,
This is awesome.
I
You
can
know,
do some work.
I could be your neighbour, mate. Can we look at the engineering bit you're building?
This has got to go to be June. That's on an event in June, so.
Oh, so you're busy.
Busy. Turn around, fire them out. So this is all temporary set up, just so we can get some work done on these cars. To get them out of the way, so we can get on.
I get that.
And then we unloaded some of the spares and bits and pieces.
Yeah.
So
It's all very organised, Michael.
not really. All the boxes are jumbled up now and what have you, but it's got some of the stock in that I carry. And then these benches, I started to fabricate them.
Yep, good steel benches, good idea.
Little lathe, little milling machine, my sheet metal folder.
Yeah.
And so, bits and pieces, basically just to fabricate any small brackets or anything precision, it goes away and gets done properly, but you need to make some nice spaces for
yeah.
I can do it in-house.
You can make your gearbox mounts for the units in here as well.
Yeah, there's a box of stuff getting ready to be sent out there.
Well, I am going to be honest and say I'm really jealous. But what a lovely place, and it is a lovely day. And thank you so much for the miniature playground. The kids are going to love that. We don't have any room in the garden for anything else, but they'll absolutely love that. So we better get it loaded, because as we were driving out here, the traffic was bad, but the other side of the motorway was absolutely jam-packed.
Yeah, really.
So, yeah, right. Yeah. Bad day to come, but with me having Russell on half term, I thought, what a good way of spending the day rather than eating in some more work time next week.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael.
No problem, Andy.
Mike was just telling me that he wanted to show me his new lawnmower, so I was really excited in case it was like a Kickstart Atco from 1953 or something. But it's actually electric, and I think he's going to start it off from his mobile phone. So you reckon this will do this paddock, do you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it'll do 3,000 square metres.
How's it empty itself, or does it just leave it on the ground?
It doesn't. You send it round every other day and it just takes a tiny little bit off.
Oh, right, and it just breaks down. Oh, it's like an RC car.
Yeah.
Look at that. We could do with one of these. Oh, I like it steering. Oh my God, it's coming for me. What's it doing? Has it got a memory as to where it was last?
It's programmed to go out to the lawn.
Right.
And then cut when it gets there.
So is it going to cut in a minute? It's going for you, Ross.
You'll have to get out of the way. It's got motion detector on it. You'll stop it.
Paused. Continue working.
Continue working. I could do with staff that said that. Continue working.
Oh, you probably confused it now. It's either have to go back.
What's it? Is it lost? Has it seen too many people?
It's in him.
Oh, it's seen Doggy. Right. I just wanted to see it in motion. Oh, he's going. He's getting his bearings now.
No, we've properly confused it.
Is he just weighing the grass up?
No. It's trying to find its way out. You can stay well out of its way, and the motion sensors don't think it's going to crash into something.
Right. He's going to go and mow the gravel. It's escaped. Quick. Ring the Chinese up and tell them it's faulty. Where's he going? It's got dampers on it. Yeah. It's got coilovers. Yeah. Have you had it on the cross weights?
Yeah.
Scaled it, yeah.
I've done all that. Set the track in.
I think that's malfunctioning, that, mate. I hate to say it.
It's not, especially with both stood too near it.
No, mate, it's gone AWOL. It's like Johnny 5. Remember Short Circuit?
I do.
Look, it's alive. It's gonna go. It's never like that. Oh, it wants to do that lawn. Yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You're joking me. Yeah. It's that clever. It knows there's another lawn over there.
Yeah. What you do is you drive it like an RC car.
Yeah.
And you drive it on what they call a channel. So it comes out of its garage. You drive it on the channel. You stop it, and then you say, right, map this area, and you drive around the perimeter. And that maps the area, and then you drive it back to its garage, and then you can schedule it to come out on a Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever you want, or you can set it off manually.
Mate, he's having a nap.
Yeah.
He's having a nap. I'd send that back as faulty.
Oh, he's setting the blade height.
Oh, is he? Is he about to perform?
Yeah.
Let's see if he performs for us. Setting the blade height, eh? Oh, is that the mower going now?
Yeah.
Oh, I was expecting something like, mega, like a big helicopter.
Yeah.
And you can just get on with something else.
Yeah.
How much is it?
It was £1,800.
£1,800.
Yeah.
Mate. Yeah.
Cheaper than a ride on, and no grass clippings to pick up.
Oh, well, fair enough. Can't fault you. Jack, what is this lovely old classic car you've got here? It's a Volvo, isn't it?
Volvo 164.
What year is that, mate?
72, 70s.
Is that not a classic?
Well,
Yeah, well, it was a classic.
yeah, there's no flaws in it or anything like that.
Oh, right, I see. It's had a bit of a life, has it? So this would have had the 1800 overhead valve pushrod engine in it.
No, it was a 3 litre straight 6, I think.
Oh, a 3 litre 6 in it.
They were, yeah.
Scott looks like it's got a good chassis leg there for a crash. So anyway, where are we racing this? Because I'm coming to watch you. Is it Mildenhall?
Mildenhall.
Right, I'm really excited.
At the start of May.
Now, your dad's been messing. He's been asking me about this engine. So he basically said, because you can't run your 2.3 race engine, can you? Because it's under 2 litres.
Yeah, it's under 2 litre. It's got like an old meeting, I don't know. Old
8 valve, 2 valve per cylinder is the rule. From what your dad tells me. So he said, what can we do to tune it a bit? So I said, well, we can yak a bit off the head, but it's thrown the cam timing right out because the head's come down a bit. So we're gonna have a bash at setting the cam timing. I have asked Russell to help me, but he's not interested in being on Shrigleytube, so never mind. So can you hold the camera?
Me?
Yeah, I need you to do the filming.
It's not normally what I shoot.
Oh, do you want pain or something? Hey, has it got 4-pot calipers on it?
Don't talk to me about them calipers.
Are they all seized, every one
Well,
of
I
them?
took the one off this side because we broke some bits, so we have to just have no brake on this side.
Right.
But now every single pipe is there. There's a lot of
You
solid.
have to invest in some flexes.
Yeah.
So basically what me and your dad have been doing is we've got a TDC mark. We're going to find out how much lift it's got, TDC, and then we're going to knock the dowel out of it and let the pulley just run on friction so that we can set the cam to give you the best possible chance, you know? That's the idea.
Yeah, it sounds technical, yeah.
Well, all it is, mate, you've got no power to start with, so what you've got we need to make the most of, you know what I mean? So I said to your dad, we might as well do it properly. Try and get we'll get an evens figure first, and then we'll work from there and put a bit of advance in it and see what happens. Happy with that?
Yeah.
You're not having a good day, are you, mate? You're
No,
tired.
I'm tired today, aren't I?
Are you
It's a bit
hungry?
hot.
Are you hungry as
I'm
well?
too fat for this heat.
For this heat?
Yeah, it's been a bit hot today.
Right, stop eating in summer.
No, I've not been eating. I've been welding and everything. Like, I'm sweating my ring off.
Right, we're on top dead centre. We're going to find out how much lift we've got before we hit the piston, so we know we're not going to be near it when you're running. So we'll set this to 0. It's 50, 100. We've run out of lift. That's not very good preparation, is it? Well, the piston's at the top, yeah? So as the valve comes down, what I'm worried about is it catching the piston, yeah? But the thing's not playing. Something's gone wrong. Right, cut that. This is too tight for me to adjust because I'm tightened it when I've been in a bad mood.
So what's your climbing frame like? In a million pieces.
Minute, do you want to see a video of it?
Look, it'll be in a million pieces. I'm not daft. I know what you like.
It's in a million pieces. Now we have to disassemble it. Right, thank you, Lee.
We're better with this motor than what I'm going to see.
Is that another nut? There's a 10mm spanner there.
You're going to have about 400 hours of filming on there.
No, I'm not asked. I'll just I'll pull whatever I've got to pull out. Be up till 3 in the morning on Saturday night doing it.
I can think of better things to be doing at 3 o'clock in the morning.
For 30 quid.
Sleep.
Mate, can you do something with these bubbles?
Tell you what, should I just cut them?
Just cut them off, mate. I was going to make that a new puppy, but he's been that horrible to me.
Oh, he's horrible. He's a horrible person.
He is. How come you turned out so nice, Jack?
I don't know. I'm near on perfect.
No, I am.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, thanks, Russ. Right,
Until he's
start
just got
recording.
you
Are you recording,
climbing
Russ?
frame.
Right, so we set it on 0. I'm going to see how much lift we've got before we hit the piston. So that's 50 thou. That's 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350. So you've got 350 thou of lift before you hit the piston. So we have got no piston collision issues whatsoever, which is a really good thing. So I'm going to wind it round to what I think is evens, all right? And then we'll measure the exhaust and see if I was right. So that is 25, 30, 35 thou. I'll go a little bit more. Let's go to 50 thou.
You was making that up?
No, what I've done is I've opened the inlet valve 50 thou and I'm looking at the height for the buckets and I think they're about level. So we should have about 40 on the exhaust, but let's just see.
Level with what? The exhaust?
Each other.
Because they stay open at top dead centre. So as to...
Yeah, but none of these in the middle of level.
No,
we're not
worried. Number one.
We're not worried about them.
Oh, no, one at the minute.
Right, so we'll zero this and then we'll go the other way around and bring it off lift and see what we had on the exhaust. I want it to be about 15, 20 thou ahead on the inlet. So that's the first inlet port there, first exhaust port's there, yeah? So I'll bring it off lift. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 43. So we had 43, what to say, 50 on the inlet. So it's just slightly ahead. So evens will be about 46, 47. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put you 35 on the exhaust. So that's 25, 30, oops. So that's 35 on the exhaust. Let's see what that is on the inlet. I reckon it'll be about 50. No, about 55.
How come you're down here helping me anyway? Has he shouted at you?
Dug it, Russell.
No, my dad.
No, it's just, I know it's causing him stress and he wants it done, so I'm trying to reduce his stresses by helping him.
Get rid of me, mum. If you want to reduce it that
Oh,
much.
mate, look at that. 54 on the inlet. So that's perfect, that. Just perfect.
Just like me.
Alan Milliard would say. Right, so that's your cam position now. Are you videoing my head or the actual job, Russ?
The job.
Right. Right, so what we'll do is we'll tip X the cam now. So we know that's where it is. Undo this front pulley. Have you got a bit of brake cleaner?
Somewhere.
And a rag?
Where did I put it, Jack? It's on the top of there.
probably all right, Lee, for what we're doing. It's
Listen, when you walk past that, don't touch your leg.
Sharp.
health and safety. Health and safety in the workplace.
We'll laugh at you.
Yeah. But mine is Mrs. won't laugh.
No, do it once though, won't you?
That's how you learn. Hey, tell us about your first time that you went to a stock car meeting and your dad let you go in the pits on your own.
First
Me?
time I let him go on his own.
What happened?
I put my hand on a stock car exhaust, both of them actually.
Both of them?
Yeah. And it just instantly blistered. It was bad.
Did it?
Yeah, I was in the ambulance and that.
Oh, in the St. John's ambulance?
I was milking it so I got another burger.
Your dad said you'd only been gone 5 minutes to come on the
5
tannoy.
minutes? No, it didn't. I was looking everywhere for him. I come back, he'd sat with the ambulance man.
It's bad.
Ambulance man's brought him back to Debbie, to Jordan's mum.
Oh, mate. Well, you never touched anything not again, did you?
I went looking for him, he disappeared. I literally followed him.
Screwdriver, mate.
Between
You
the
get
stock
this.
cars, I followed him.
I've managed to squash this nut on here.
Oh, that is tight on there.
Yeah, just take it off even, Stephen.
Right. So what we've done, Russell, is we took the dowel out the front now. Now that would have been to locate the pulley on the cam, yeah? And the reason it's like that is because, as standard, the head wouldn't have been lower to the block. So this distance between the crank and the camshaft would have been a standard size.
He
So
sounds very interested.
Yeah,
to
the
be
cam
honest.
would have all lined up. Are you bothered, Ross? No, you didn't think so. Okay. So,
Right, it ain't gonna go on anyway. We thing there, is it?
oh mate, well luckily we've got our marks. Just move that out of the way. Right. So what we need to do is we need to lace this in Loctite.
We don't drill it after.
No, we don't need to. Frictional drive. The pin is just for location so that it don't confuse people. Oh, brake cleaner it first.
It looks technical.
Oh, it's mega technical, mate. Basically, we're removing the pin jack and we're just going to let the cam drive off friction, which is absolutely perfectly acceptable. It won't be an issue.
Right, so if it spins,
Mate, if it spins, I will take you.
Are you paying my diesel?
Or you can eat somewhere. Mate, you can't swear.
Oh, sorry for swearing.
Right, so we lace it in Loctite retainer.
That's my
Yeah, you having that? Right, we're going to be quick here. Where's the belt?
That's there, on
Where's
your
the bolt?
side though.
Where's the bolt?
Oh, you just have it. What have you done with it?
Here. Right, get the
Where's
belt. Around there, that side, wasn't it?
Right, need a bit of oil.
What sort of oil?
No, I've got it. Put oil. Always put oil on the shoulder, yeah? So that
Oil
the
on the
washer,
shaft.
No, on the shoulder.
Oh, right, okay.
Bit of more Loctite on here. Let's wang that in. Still spinning. Belt, come on, Lee. Shape. Is that with the right and the right way around?
Gotta be faster, yeah? Come on.
Yeah, we don't want Loctite to go off.
That goes around there, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. Oh, the dizzy. We need to time dizzy up. Oh, we'll do that later.
Just pull it out and do that after.
Right, undo that bolt, tensioner.
Yeah, hand ratchet there. Brains.
That's too big.
Too big, we want the 3/8.
3/8, where's the 3/8?
Why are you not prepared?
Just have it.
Come on, just Lee.
Seriously.
Been waiting for me all afternoon. You can't even get a socket ready.
He's had every tool out.
Mate, have you seen the mess in
200
here?
Halford set. Yeah, 200 pieces. Put every single bit back yesterday. There's 199 pieces on the floor.
Right. I love that. Right. So what we need to do now, reapproach it in a clockwise direction. I'm going to give it a little bit of before top of the centre because there'll be spring in the belt. Okay.
Says imp on that belt.
Does it?
Yeah.
Good belt that. Right. 14 on a ratchet or buzz gun or something. Let's ring its neck.
Where's the neck go?
It's got half-inch socket on here.
Have you got 14? Yeah, I've got a 14, yeah. Just need a gun. Yeah, we'll get it, Anna.
Where's the preparation?
I don't know what you're doing, do I?
That's not your snap-on gun, by the way.
Right, we'll check it, we'll check it. Right, that's well stretched, that. Right, what we'll do now, go backwards. In fact, we'll go back right off lift. So we zeroed.
They sound absolutely awful, these things, by the way.
Do they? We'll fire it up and see. Have you set the ignition siren yet?
No, that's what I wanted. I did. Yeah, it was fired up straight away. You didn't have to rev it,
Right.
nothing.
Coming up
Now
to
you've
50.
just messed the ignition timing up, haven't you?
55. What we on? We're on 55, 60, 65. It's got a bit more than we first said, but let's just see what it sounds like before we get too excited knocking 5 or 10 off it, yeah? Because we've got loads of room in the engine.
Right, so do you want to fire it up? No.
You have to set the camera.
Yeah. We've got to set the timing on the dizzy, yeah?
Yeah. So we'll have to
Pop the
TDC
dizzy
now.
out then.
Well,
No, you just pull it out there, don't you?
just put the
Cap off, you need to cap
Oh, right.
Right, you put the,
That's
you put
before my time, I don't know.
You put the camera. Right. Where's the rev limiter gone?
Pardon?
You took the rev limiter out.
Yeah, it's been thrown.
It's a safety feature for the engine.
Safe. Trust me, it's safe.
Right, so I've got this one as number 1.
Yeah, that's right. That is number
No.
1. Yeah, that's
Oh,
how
yeah,
I've
yeah.
had it. That's how I've had it.
Oh yeah, because that was Rocky on number 4, wasn't it? Yeah. Right, okay. So we're not a million miles off.
Right, get us a 10 on a little gun jack.
Oh my god.
I'm not tight at all. I'm just put some...
Is he bullying you? Get a new dad off eBay. Try and get a richer one.
What? So we can bust him as well? Matter how rich he is, does it? You must have had a little gun. There's one on there. Yeah, probably is. I'm not disputing that there's one somewhere. Don't matter how rich he is, does it?
No, we're still spending.
Still busting. Bust.
Right, we had a 10 mil.
There was one here.
Let's get some tools on the floor.
Here. Where's the gun jack?
Here. Are they torqued correctly, yeah?
Yeah. Not doing it for now.
Just get the back one. Just lift up what
That's
there's one here, but it'll run off and then it'll off.
Thing done. What?
You can't see, can you, Paul? 4 boy. Right, let's, does it loose?
Yeah, there's no in it, there's no thing in it.
Right.
Right, fire it up, Jack. Make sure it's out of gear.
Yeah, don't be running me over.
So there's no wheels on it, is there?
I'm good on
You'll be alright, Ross, don't worry. Right, we need to make sure that hole's in the correct way. Doesn't feel good. The hole's not going to line up with the clamp, so we need to just move it around one on the skew, yeah? Or 2.
What's them wires out?
I know, it's delicate, isn't it?
Yeah. When you take the lid off.
Yeah, you can put it back in.
Right, so if you ever want to do this at the paddock or the pits, just reference where it is, yeah? So I know that's like that. Take it out.
What's that wire?
Keep the rotor on where it needs to be. Yeah? Where it was before.
I know what's going on.
I'm not telling you, I'm telling the viewers, you nasty man.
Oh, sorry.
If that happens to me, hopefully there's an old person walking past at the time. I can say, sort
Right.
that out.
That's not very nice, is it, Jack?
No, but it's before my time, isn't it? I
put
don't
that in
know.
before you
Yeah,
put
get
it
that put in, because it's worrying me. That's the only dizzy I've got, and they're not cheap, then.
Oh, aren't they?
No, can't go.
How much did it cost you, Lee?
He did actually have to pay for that as well.
Did he? That's
Yeah,
surprising,
no, he
isn't
probably owed me money for something.
Right, fire it up, kid.
Why don't you make the channel a bit more lively and put some strippers on there or something?
Yeah, thanks for that, Jack. Not
Male
sure.
ones, of course.
Not sure it appealed to everybody, that.
Why?
Right, out of range on your old.
Because it wants to be like 10.
Right, so where you're out of range, it's gone too far that way.
Yeah. So
Right, so that one's going that way then, doesn't it?
You crack on, Lee. You're good at doing that.
Out of range on his hole.
What are you laughing at? It's 9.
I'm 10. I literally turned 10 a couple of days ago. How do you forget?
You don't know anything.
I'll have to edit that bit out. I'll keep the road round when it is. It was more than 1 tooth.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. Wait, break the wires off it, is it?
No, don't. It's the only one we've got.
We're back in the same hole.
It's not. Sent it round. That's the second one.
Sure.
I think so. That, we should have just mixed some liquid metal. It's 2 seconds.
I don't know where he is, any.
On the bench. It got off in seconds, doesn't it?
Probably something else I bought. Oh, that's leak stop.
Same shite.
Right.
Okay, buddy, go on. Start. Can't rev it up. It's popping back like it's retarded, but it might just be lean because it's got plenty of advance. And we've made it 11 to 1, so.
It wasn't popping back.
Say again?
It wasn't popping back.
Well,
so.
no, I know it wasn't.
No, I'm saying, I mean, as in if it's lean, it wasn't popping back, so.
Something you've done.
So,
We need a short 13 jack for the dizzy. I don't know where you put the dizzy bolts.
you need to put it in a special place.
Where's that box of nuts and bolts?
Yeah, here's a 13. Got a washer for that. That'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are washers. Oh yeah, Jack. This might be the original one. Got a ratchet one?
Yeah. Professional.
Is there a torch? I can't even see the hole.
Yeah, torch.
You get to that?
I think so. Might be better up underneath there. I think the hole's full of like rubble.
Yeah, but that's probably too long for that. Right.
No, the bolt's not too long. I'll just keep going to look at the blocks. Is that on, Russell?
I'm not bothered. It's not liquid down.
Some lamp on that, isn't it?
No, it's just a bolt hole full of maca, isn't it?
It's pointless doing a video on this though, because only people that watch the channel study it.
It's very nice, isn't it, Jack? Right, fire us up, kid.
I didn't do that.
Russell don't watch it, he says it's
Is it recording, Russ?
It's cringe. It's cringe, isn't it?
It's cringe, isn't it, Russ? That's all it needs. It's lean.
Right, what does that mean? Drill the mains?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Fast. Faster.
Yeah.
Drill the mains, right. Can I
Right.
borrow your drills?
Cool, are you alright now? Can I leave you?
Yeah. What
Well,
drill-
listen, if you're making a video on it, you may as well just do the carb now and get it running, then have to finish
We've
result.
got to go, we've got to get Russell's tea.
Oh, right, gotta go.
Boys, got to be fed, aren't you, Russ? Got to feed the machine.
Yeah.
Right, well done.
So,
Time to go. Let's put it.
just want bigger mains?
Yeah, well, is it clean, the carb?
Yeah, well,
Bring the carb up next week and have a look at it.
I stripped it and cleaned it, so I'm not taking it apart again. I'll take the lid off.
Because it was on a 3 litre, and now it's on a 2 litre.
It's not drawing as much
Not
air,
drawing
so
enough,
it's
not
making
drawing enough air, so
it's making it go lean.
making
yeah.
it go lean.
Right,
It's just
so
yeah.
can I make a water tank for this tomorrow?
Let me just get, well, where's your drills? I'll just start.
I'll come up to the workshop and I'll lend you them. Don't lose them all.
I won't.
Oh my God, what are you doing zooming on his napper?
Position. What are slightly gloomier skies now, some more grey clouds just sort of appearing out there. The breeze has moved actually, it's now got a little bit lighter, but it has changed direction, the wind, so I think we probably need to be looking straight out of our commentary box windows for the clouds, because that's what's coming towards us now. We guide you through the grid then, as the cars head onto their formation lap in advance of this 40-minute race, with a mandatory pit stop as well, which will open after 10 minutes of the race and will close after the regulatory period. I think it opens at 10, stays open for 15 and closes for the final 15, I think is the way that it works. Simeon Chodosh will start the race from pole position at the wheel of his Chevrolet Corvette, and hopefully alongside is James Hughes, but his car has had a couple of problems. So that's the front row of the grid. Row 2 of the grid is Stephen Collins and Jack Smith, and row 3 is Charles Tippett and Ian Staines. Mark Neese and Simon Tinkler line up on row number 4, with Gwyn Pollard and Mark Cloutman on row number 5, and it's Dean Halsey and Sean Hadrell on row 6. Abby Witt starts on the inside of the 7th row of the grid with Adrian Vincent alongside, and it's Simon Benoy and Julian Howe that are next up. David Claxton and John Moon line up on the 9th row of the grid with James Atkinson and either Clive Tong or Robert Dawson. We didn't get a starting driver for that car, that are next up. The next row of the grid, it's either Paul Willis or John Wagstaff that starts. Again, I don't think we received a starting driver, but alongside them will be number 33, that'll be started by Gordon Elwell. Then it's Gary Lyon and William Potter that are on row number 12. Row 13 is Bruce Burrows and David Eales. Row 14, Andrew Tidmarsh and Robert Lines. Row 15 is Martin Rumble and 215, which is John Riggott. Then the number 74 car is next up at the inside of the 16th row. That's the car that Nigel Gray and Rob Gray share. Don't think we got starting driver for that one. And alongside is number 32, which will be Andrew Wilcox. And then the final couple of rows of the grid should be Bob Fisher and Adam Cunnington, and hopefully, if they made it out, because both cars had problems in qualifying, Justin Potter and Mark Lister towards the tail end of the order. So that should give you the starting drivers where the cars are shared, and of course we will keep you advised as who is jumping in as and when we get the second batch of drivers coming in. I'm just going to have a quick look again for some of those cars to see whether, no, car number 8, race 13, definitely no starting driver for that one. Car number 313, definitely no starting driver for that one. And car number 74, it's got both drivers down as a starting driver, so we don't know which one's starting. No, so giving you all the starting drivers, but the few that we don't know, the question marks do remain. I was just checking that wasn't an admin error on my part. So 40-minute race and that mandatory pit stop in the middle. The race winner from last time these raced, or the race winners from the Swinging 60s last time out at Silverstone aren't here this weekend, so we don't need to worry about any additional time penalties for anybody to spend in the pits. And the way it works, when the pit window opens, it's as quick as you can change drivers. There's no minimum time like there was for all of the racing yesterday. It's as quick as you can change drivers, or if you're a single driver, you can either stay in the car but can't exit the pit lane any shorter than a minute and a half after entering it, or if you are a single driver, you can get out of the car, close the door, open the door, get back in again, and off you go as quick as possible. So there's various options for you. So Simeon Chodosh qualified nearly 4 seconds quicker than anybody else in this grid of cars, and he's going to thunder the Chevrolet Corvette off the start-finish line now. Up towards Redgate Corner they'll go for the first time, and Simeon Chodosh has got his nose ahead for the lead of the race. He's got James Hughes trying around the outside, and then is that Jack Smith in the MGA might slot through into 3rd place, but James Hughes trying right the way around the outside at Redgate Corner, just gets the nose ahead, but then the extra grunt of the Chevrolet I think will tell as they head down through the Craner curves for the first time.
Yeah, good start from Jack Smith, immediately trying to apply pressure onto that of James Hughes, but James Hughes quicker through the corners, down through the Craner curves he will go, and will he pick off Simeon Chodosh around the outside? Yes he will, but up the hill Simeon Chodosh will have the legs and will start to draw himself back level as the rest of the field winds its way through and past the old hairpin. Simeon Chodosh, is he still there? No. James Hughes holds on to the lead for now. As soon as we get onto the exhibition straight, I'm sure we'll see that change. Car number 16, Ian Staines, has been caught up in an incident at the old hairpin. I've got a feeling he'd kept it out of the gravel, so fingers crossed we can see the race continue on.
That's a shame for him because he started 6th as well at the wheel of the number 16 MG Midget. Race continues in the meantime as the leaders pick their way through Coppice for the first time. Now in a straight line, James Hughes is going to have a terrible job of trying to hold up Simeon Chodosh, who powers his way through into the lead of the race. Ian Staines down at the old hairpin finally gets going again, but he's dropped to the very tail end of the lead. And whilst Chodosh got through to pick up the lead of the race, of course, he had to brake that much earlier than James Hughes. So James Hughes back in the lead. They come back out of the Fogarty S's. There's another straight. Chodosh goes back into the lead again, but it's into the heavy braking area for the Melbourne hairpin. Can he hang on to it this time? Yes, he can. So Simeon Chodosh finally picks up the lead of the race. James Hughes is there in 2nd place. It's going to be Jack Smith in the MGA that's there in 3rd, and Dean Halsey from 11th on the grid. We did say his car wasn't going well in qualifying. In the second qualifying, because he's doing both Swinging 60s races, it was much more where we expected it to be. But he's from 11th up to 4th at the wheel of the Datsun 240Z.
Yeah, really pushing on. He's already managed to work his way through and past Charles Tippett. He will now try and do the same on to Jack Smith. It will be all the way around the outside at Redgate for that of Dean Halsey. No, he can't make it work this time, but he does get a good exit, however.
He does get a good exit, however, as did James Hughes, who is now battling away with Simeon Chodosh for the lead of the race again. They were side by side through the Craner curves last time. They're side by side through the Craner curves this time. And James Hughes retakes the lead of the race once more. So the Lenim Sprite goes back to 1st place. Simeon Chodosh in 2nd. Jack Smith in 3rd. Dean Halsey there in 4th place. Charles Tippett is there in 5th place, but he has got right behind him. Was that Abbey Witt that was right behind? I couldn't quite see before the camera panned round.
It must be quite scary being James Hughes, because that's a lot of Corvette that you're quite literally looking up to into the braking zone, trying to figure out exactly where to place your car. The number 115 further down the order, William Potter, managing to work his way through and past Bruce Burrows at the old hairpin. And for the moment, James Hughes still holding on to the lead. Simeon Chodosh will be closing in once more. However, I did start to think there that Jack Smith was closing in into the braking zones, and as through the corners. No, Simon Chodosh can't do anything about fighting against James Hughes. What do we say? Jack Smith now looking up the inside, heading in towards the Fogarty S's. Simon Chodosh struggling to get that car running up and onto the pace we saw in qualifying in a straight line. It does thunder past people. Charles Tippett now trying to fight back against Dean Halsey into the braking zone at the Melbourne hairpin. But James Hughes, having worked his way through and past Simon Chodosh, he's driving away in the lead.
He is, yeah. Jack Smith's there in second place, Chodosh third, Dean Halsey fourth. The BMW is Charles Tippett in fifth. Then it's Abby Witt at the wheel of her midget, the grey car with the white roof, but she's under pressure from Mark Neese, and then Simon Tinkler isn't that far away, and then you can add into that also the Austin A40, which is started by Mark Cloutman, the pink car. So Chodosh in a straight line rockets his way past what almost looks like a stationary Jack Smith, but he's pedalling the MGA as quickly as he can. Problem is he's giving away a few horsepowers, isn't he, to both Simon Chodosh, who's now ahead of him, and to Dean Halsey at the wheel of the Datsun, who's behind him. So briefly up to second, back down to third. It's going to be one of these pendulum races, isn't it? It just keeps swinging one way and the other.
No, it really, really will be. We're still 5.5 minutes away from the pit window opening, which of course is where we start to see those drivers sort of show their hand. Are they going to pit early and get out of a battle and hope the track's clear by the time they exit? Or are they going to pit later, fight their way through the traffic as best they can and try and get as many clean laps in as possible? Simon Benoy lifting the inside front wheel on the run through the old hairpin. Brilliant to see. As for Simon Chodosh, he's still holding station in second place, but he has pulled away from Jack Smith, so now he can focus up and onto the most recent race leader of James Hughes.
And what I love about Swinging 60s is just the varieties of cars. So we've got Chevrolet, Austin, MG, BMW, Ginetta, Datsun, Turner, Triumph, Alfa Romeo, Ford, Hillman. So that's 11 different marques represented.
It's it really is nice to see. Indeed, the Classic Sports Car Club do that so well indeed. Out of the Fogarty S's, Simon Chodosh gets a really good run, but he has to jump on the brakes very, very early. It's a lot of Chevrolet Corvette to slow down. And then James Hughes can brake just that little bit later, focus on the exit. It must be quite scary seeing the speed that Simon Chodosh is arriving. Hits the brakes at a similar point, sort of undulating the brake pedal, I think, there as Simon Chodosh, just to try and, one, to make sure he's got enough room to slow down, but to avoid any locking.
Yeah, I think Simon Chodosh is driving tactically here as he takes up the lead of the race in a straight line from James Hughes. I don't think, on the basis of he qualified 4 seconds quicker than anybody else, you'd expect him to disappear off into the distance. He did take the lead. He's lost it again on the brakes going into Redgate. I think he's playing the long game here. I think he knows that if he tries to drive that Corvette flat out for 40 minutes, he's going to have no tyres left and no brakes left. By just doing what you need to do and having a bit of fun out there, then the race will come to him eventually. He can utilise a bit more braking, a bit more tyre later on in the stint, and not early doors. Don't run out of brakes early.
No, absolutely not. Charles Tippett coming under a little bit of pressure now. That will be from Abby Witt, and Abby Witt starting to apply the pressure as they went their way down through the Craner curves and in towards the old hairpin. Is that an issue for James Hughes, because he's dropped out of the race lead, not only to second, not only to third, but now down to fourth behind Dean Halsey? It looked like a missed gear, which up the hill would cost you very dear indeed.
Yeah, it has. It certainly cost him very dear. Down to fourth place. It looks as though he's sort of plateaued there now and hasn't fallen into the clutches of Charles Tippett. He's now trying to re-attack Dean Halsey. So I think you're right. It probably was just a brief missed gear, but it cost him a couple of places. And now, as the race leader Simon Chodosh comes down in towards the braking area for the Fogarty S's, Jack Smith in the MGA's as late as he possibly can up the inside. Is he going to reappear in the lead of the race? No, he doesn't. He's still there in second place. And now Simon Chodosh will sprint away. Back up to third briefly comes James Hughes as he draws himself alongside the Datsun, but then the extra power of Dean Halsey tells. And Dean Halsey has the inside line, but James Hughes is now going to go all the way around the outside at the wheel of the far more nimble Lenham Sprite, and still can't quite pick up the position. Up towards the braking area for Goddard's. Jack Smith is now the one who's struggling. He's dropped from second down to third. He brakes as late as he can. Back up the inside of Dean Halsey. This is fantastic stuff, isn't it? So it's Simon Chodosh who holds his hand out of the window as though he's heading in towards the pits this time through. So Simon Chodosh into the pits, which now means Jack Smith picks up the lead of the race, but in a straight line. He is very much prey for Dean Halsey, who puts the Datsun just ahead, but into the braking area. Jack Smith brakes that little bit later. The MGA goes through, and right away around the outside of Dean Halsey, then goes James Smith to pick up second.
What a brilliant move from James Hughes. So he really did trust that the grip would be out there, found the grip. So we've now got Jack Smith leading from James Hughes. Dean Halsey watching on, thinking, what do I have to do to get into the lead of this race? Charles Tippett is still under pressure from Abbey Witt, who dives to the inside and manages to get to the old hairpin first. So Abbey Witt now up into 4th place, Charles Tippett down into 5th. But James Hughes and Jack Smith have had a busy start to this race. Now there's no more Simon Chodosh there. They've now got to worry about Dean Halsey.
Yeah, we had another little shuffle just behind those as well. There was another overtake that I spotted. Couldn't quite work out who it was. I think it was Mark Neese losing a place as Stephen Collins, number 69, went up the inside of him. A very sideways moment, but eventually gathered up with Julian Howe at the wheel of his MGB, who just got a bit of a wiggle on as he was coming out of one of the corners. But the race leaders now are heading in towards the braking area for the Fogarty S's once more. Jack Smith leads the way. James Hughes in 2nd place, under attack from Dean Halsey. The Datsun surely won't be able to outbrake the Lenham Sprite going in towards the Fogarty S's, and indeed can't. So James Hughes carries all of that momentum out of the S's. Dean Halsey just dropping away a little bit briefly at the moment. Abbey Witt is there in 4th place in the MG Midget, followed by Charles Tippett, then Stephen Collins, Mark Neese and Simon Tinkler. The spin, though, for Jack Smith. He loses the tail end of the race-leading car coming out of the Melbourne hairpin, got on the power too early. It spat him around to the inside. He's now pointing back round in the right direction, but he's gone from the lead down into 6th place and is now coming under pressure from the Austin A40 of Mark Cloutman.
He is indeed, so that gives the lead back to James Hughes. Over the line they will go. Dean Halsey this time goes to the inside, forcing James Hughes to decide whether he wants the outside again or to the inside, but late enough on the brakes is Dean Halsey, or is he? Because James Hughes right the way around the outside again, but Dean Halsey can get his foot to the floor, unleash that little bit more power, so Dean Halsey takes the lead of the race away from James Hughes. Abbey Witt now up into 3rd place, having picked off Charles Tippett the moment before, and the pit window is open.
Yep, so that has absolutely flown by the first 10 minutes of that race. I don't know how many changes of lead we've had, but it's well in excess of the number of laps we've completed, which is 5 at the moment. So Dean Halsey leads the way from James Hughes in 2nd position. They start to work their way round through Schwantz Curve and up towards McLean's Corner. The Datsun leads the Lenham Sprite. Then it is the MG Midget of Abbey Witt. Stephen Collins and Charles Tippett in the BMW are next up as they complete the top 5. But again, James Hughes now is trying around the outside at Coppice Corner to take the lead of the race. Can he make it stick? Well, if he does, unfortunately, there's another straight that's coming up and Dean Halsey will power his way back, but he couldn't make it stick anyway. So it's still the Datsun that leads the way as they now come into the braking area for the Fogarty S's for the 6th time of asking. The pit window is open, so at any point these cars can dive for the pit lane. Remember, in swinging 60s, if you're a solo driver, you've got the choice. You can either hop out of the car, both feet on the ground, close the door, open the door, get back in again, and off you go. Or if maybe you think that it's a bit too cumbersome to get in and out of the car quickly, then you can just remain from pit in to pit out for 90 seconds, 1 minute and 30 seconds. If you're changing drivers, again, as quick as you can do it. That's the way it works in the Adams and Page swinging 60s. Dean Halsey stays out there. James Hughes stays out there. Abbey Witt stays out. Stephen Collins stays out. Charles Tippett stays out. Mark Neese stays out. Simon Tinkler in the yellow MGB stays out. Jack Smith stays out. And in fact, they all stay out, even the next car coming through, which will be Mark Cloutman, who's under pressure from John Moon. They all stay out, as does Simon Benoy, who is down in 12th place. So the top 12 all stayed out on that lap. And they've now got traffic to deal with as well. So the Austin A40 of Andrew Wilcox is the first little bit of traffic that they're dealing with. But we have got one taker for the pits, and into the pit lane comes Julian Howe. He will be the first of those to come in at the wheel of his MGB GT to conduct the mandatory pit stop. Now, for the lead of the race, James Hughes is leading from Dean Halsey, and Jack is down there in the pit lane.
I am indeed. I just wanted to talk you through Julian Howe's pit stop. He's playing around with the belts. He's opting for the get out and get back in again as fast as you can. So door closes, door opens, back into the car jumps Julian Howe. But of course, you've then got to sort out your seatbelts if you've not got anybody else there to assist you. So squeezes his way back into his MGB GT, doing up the belts and
fingers crossed he can get the engine struck back into life and get straight back out there.
Well, James Hughes, who was leading at the point that we handed down to you, had briefly dropped down into third because Abby Witt had managed to muscle her way through. But Abby Witt is going to lose out, I think, as they head in towards the Fogarty S's. We've got more cars diving for the pit lane as well. So into the pits comes Adam Cunnington at the wheel of his Austin Healey Sprite. Now, Abby Witt has also just been picked off and has lost a further place. So she's dropped down into fourth position now because Stephen Collins dived up the inside at the wheel of his MGB to squeeze his way through. So that's been a good run through the order from him late on. Abby Witt's trying to re-attack, though, as they come up towards Goddard's. Dean Halsey continuing round. James Hughes in second place, still continuing round. Then the number 69 car of Stephen Collins coming under pressure from the MG midget of Abby Witt as they head up towards the braking area for Redgate Corner. The grey car can't find its way through and ahead of the MGB Roadster, so they still sit there in what is third and fourth places respectively. Stephen Collins having only recently picked up that third place, of course. Now, one car that will, I think, be destined for the pit lane at the end of this lap will be Mark Neese, because the number 63 Mini was going very slowly on the previous lap, and yeah, he's only now crawling his way down in towards the Melbourne hairpin. So that'll be one car that you'll have. And you've also got one of the other cars that's inside the top 10 come in. Sean Hadrell's come in, has he not, at the wheel of the Turner Mark 1. So he sits there in the pit lane. Got a couple of MGAs in as well. David Eales is the spearmint coloured car. And also Robert Lines at the wheel of his Burgundy MGA, both sitting in the pit lane. But none of those running right at the sharp end other than Sean Hadrell have dived for the pit lane just as yet. Mark Neese slowly crawling his way into the pit lane, and I think this Mini, Jack, is going to be destined for retirement the way it's coming in.
Yes, I should imagine so. Well, we've got our first driver change taking place. Gordon Elwell jumping out to hand over to Helen Elwell. So Helen has already jumped in. We'll try and grab a word with Gordon in a few moments' time. The pit lane is becoming ever busier, and I will run up to the Mini of Mark Neese. I say run up, I think he just... I'm going to have to run up because I don't think he's got enough momentum to get down the pit lane, so we'll figure out exactly what's going on with the Mini and get back to you.
Yeah, Mark Cloutman, I'm afraid, in the Austin A40 is out of the race. He's parked up down at the old hairpin. We just also had a spin for Bruce Burrows at Goddard's Corner. He has recovered. And it might be worth grabbing a word with Simeon Chodosh as well, because that car came into the pit lane many laps ago. Simeon's still behind the wheel of it. It looks as though he's going to go back out again at some point into the race. Dean Halsey comes in, though. So from the lead of the race, Dean Halsey is in from third position. We've also now got Stephen Collins in the number 69 MGB Roadster in towards the pit lane. And is this Abby Witt coming in as well? Yes, it is. Number 82, Abby Witt comes in, ready to hand the car over to what will be her father, won't it, Ian Witt, who will do driving duties in part 2 of the race.
Yeah, and Simeon Chodosh goes back out as well. Mark Neese, they're paying some attention around the engine bay, exactly what's going on, and feeling for liquid. I don't know whether that is some sort of oil or coolant or whatever it may be. Something's dropping from the bottom of the engine. Dean Halsey, in a screech of tyre squeal, returns to the circuit. I'm going to wander a little bit further down the pit lane and see if I can grab a word with a couple of our drivers.
Thank you very much. Yep, so Dean Halsey, that was a quick stop for him, I would say. I mean, he's well versed with it. He's been racing in the Classic Sports Car Club Swinging 60s series for a very good period of time. William Potter comes in towards the pit lane. That's a car that I thought was being driven solo, but suggestion was that is going to be a driver change taking place. So I'm just going to have a quick look to where he is positioned. And there is another driver about to get in. So that must be Justin Potter, I would have thought, that is going to jump into that car. As Justin was scheduled to have raced a different car, but I think has probably had problems with it. So I think that will now be Justin that will be on board. Or we'll make that assumption. I may be absolutely wrong, but common sense would tell me that's what would happen.
So we do have a little bit of news as well. 115 is into the pit lane, the MG midget. William Potter is jumping out to hand over to Adam Potter, who's going out for his very first race. So we'll try and jump in and grab a word with William once he's got his helmet off. Handing over to Adam. It's Adam's first race, so you've handed over the car in a pretty healthy position.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where I am yet. I haven't looked. I'm hoping okay. It's his first race, so I'm hoping to send him off with somewhere decent.
It must be busy as well because you've got cars in different classes and cars on different strategies. And with the amount of cars we've got here, it is very busy to find a piece of track to call your own.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of people out there. It's struggle to get past them all.
Great stuff. Congratulations and best of luck for the rest of the race.
Thank you.
So Adam Potter is struggling to get the car started. I feel like I might need to put my running shoes on here, Mark. Trying to grab a gear, but unfortunately not being able to find one. Abby Witt is talking through what's going on with Ian Witt. Unfortunately, the bonnet's come up, Mark.
Oh dear. You've also got Charles Tippett in. That'll be to hand the car over to Claire Norman. So that car's come in. It was running in second position. We've also now got the Alpina making its way in towards the pit lane as well. So this will be Adrian Vincent. He drives solo at the wheel of the number 96 car. So James Hughes now picks up the lead of the race and is still as yet to pit. Of course, he has been leading for a period of time. Now we can see Abby Witt out of the car. Ian Witt just now starting to get going. That was a good old stint from Abby Witt, I've got to say. So really impressed with the pace that she had. She must be really pleased with that. Might be able to catch up with Abby now that she has completed her driving duties.
Try and jump in. You say really pleased, but I think some mechanical issues, trouble for one of the BMWs forgetting to close the door during the pit stop. So back out, close the door, back in, and then go again. I'll see if I can jump in and grab a quick word with Abby, if it's okay. That was a really good stint, but problems at the hairpin.
Yeah, for some reason I was just coming around the hairpin at the bottom there and the Melbourne loop, and it just cut out completely. I don't know what happened. We have had a few issues. We were practicing on Monday and had problems with the diff and the gearbox, but in quali it seemed to be all right. And then, like I said, just coming around the Melbourne loop and it just cut out. So very strange.
But you are truly batting above your weight because there's some very quick stuff out there and you're showing the pace you truly have.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, after quali I was feeling a bit deflated, but yeah, I really enjoyed the battle, especially with Charles in the BMW. So yeah, it was really good fun, and I thought we were on for a good stint, but unfortunately Dad's got in, but I don't think he's going to make up the time that I got to, so yeah.
Well, best of luck and enjoy the rest of the race.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Always good to chat to Abby Witt. Behind us, we've got James Hughes in the pit lane as well, waiting for the right time. And away he goes, back out onto the circuit, Mark.
Yep, so he's conducted his mandatory pit stop. So that now means that the car that had the spin earlier on, whilst it was leading, number 29, the MGA of Jack Smith, picks up the lead of the race. We've just had a new fastest lap of the race put in as well. And that is Simeon Chodosh. Might be down in 17th position with a 1 minute 51.822 for Simeon Chodosh, but he has now set the fastest lap of the race and is trying to carve his way past, as things stand, Simon Benoy's Imp in a straight line. I suspect I know which one will win. Jack?
Yes, I can tell you I've got a starting driver, purely because I've just seen them getting in. Robert Dawson started the number 8 BMC Mini Cooper S, and Clive Tongue has just jumped in.
Thank you very much for that one. So that at least clarifies one of the cars that we were missing the starting driver for. So thank you for that one. As for our race leader, well, it is still going to be the number 29 MGA of Jack Smith, who is still out there and circulating. Now, whereabouts is Jack on track at the moment at the wheel of the number 29 car? He is just coming into the pit lane. Yes, absolutely. As I look down to try and pick out where he is, he heads into towards the pit lane. So you've got the race leader in.
Yeah, right in front of me as well. So on the brakes, Jack Smith locks the fronts in desperation to get the car slowed down. He will be rolling slightly forward, I think, because he's parked on a slight ramp. Jack Smith jumps straight out. Steve Smith sorts the belt, and then I'll try and jump in and grab a word with Jack Smith in a few moments' time.
Thank you very much. So now that means that actually occasional Castle Coombe commentator John Moon, car number 696, picks up the lead of the race at the wheel of his Austin Healey Lenham GT. That's the red car with the gold stripe down the centre of it. So he will pick up the lead of the race. Simon Benoy dived for the pit lane that time through. So there's only a couple of cars that haven't pitted. 696 John Moon as yet to pit. Car number 16, which had the spin very early on down at the old hairpin, Ian Staines as yet to pit. And also car number 3, I don't think has pitted yet either, which will be Andrew Wilcox at the wheel of the Austin A40 Farina. That's the sole Austin A40 that we've got running now, because of course we lost Mark Cloutman down at the old hairpin several laps ago now. 17 minutes to go, and 12 laps will be completed next time through. And are we going to see John Moon dive for the pit lane this time through? The number 3 car of Andrew Wilcox just coming up towards Goddard, so this is one of the cars that needs to pit at some point. Are we going to see the Austin A40 come in at the end of this lap? Yes, we are. Jack.
Yeah, so I'm down here with Jack Smith. Jack, a small mistake at sort of, 10 minutes into the race, 5 minutes into the race, from the race lead, but you fought back, and when you came in, you're in the race lead again.
Was I? Oh, I didn't know that. That's good. There was, I think the Chevy dropped oil, so I took the hairpin quite tight, accelerated, I've spun on his oil, so it's a shame, but that's how it is.
I have to say, it's fabulous to watch because the Chevy's got the speed in the straight line, but on the brakes, do you just have to be so confident or confident enough to outbrake it?
Basically, yeah, shove it up the inside and close your eyes, hope for the best.
And in terms of sort of working your way around Redgate, we've seen James Hughes do it, we've seen you do it, just not only outbraking, but then being confident enough that the grip is on the outside and that Simeon's not just going to wash right into you.
That's it, yeah, the grip is on the outside there, so yeah, the car is balanced, you hope it stays in one piece and you floor it, and that's it.
Amazing, well done, enjoy the rest of the race.
Thank you very much.
Quick word there with Jack Smith, back up to you, Mark.
Thank you very much. Yeah, John Moon has just come in towards the pit lane, and now Ian Staines comes in, so this is the last of the cars that's still running that hasn't pitted as yet. So Ian Staines comes in with about 35 seconds remaining of the pit window. So he's left it until the very end of the pit window. Now, that may well have been because he had the spin early on when he was running in about 6th place and dropped to the very tail end of the field, so maybe that adjusted his strategy and he's just left it until as late as possible into the window. So once we've cycled through this pit stop, it should see Dean Halsey in the Datsun 240Z, car number 240, back in to the lead of the race. Once we've cycled through everything. Second should be Stephen Collins at the wheel of the number 69 MGB, and James Hughes is going to be third at the moment, so he has lost out through the pit stops, as of course he was running right at the sharp end. We've got one car on the grass coming out of the Melbourne hairpin, and that's Sean Hadrell at the wheel of the Turner, who recovers from his moment. Jack,
have we still got someone to pit? I've got a driver here, suited and booted, ready to go, waiting for their car to arrive, but I thought pit window would be closed by now.
Pit window is now closed, and unless it's Carl Kilby, who's waiting very patiently for Mark Cloutman, who retired many laps ago, I'm not quite sure why you might have a driver suited and booted.
If it is, that's rather worrying. I'll go ask the question, Mark.
Go and ask his name.
Yes.
So, over the start-finish line goes Simeon Chodosh. Is he working his way back through the order? Yes, he is. He's gained another place that time through. He's now up into 12th position, and he's still actually the fastest car that's out there, Simeon Chodosh. He is still on the lead lap as well, albeit he's 1 minute and 38 seconds behind the race leader. So here comes Dean Halsey now over the start-finish line at the wheel of the Datsun 240Z. He leads the way. Who have you got?
I feel awful. It was Carl Kilby.
Oh no, was it?
So waiting is just I can't see my car going round anymore. To be the bearer of bad news.
Oh yeah, Mark Cloutman retired. There's no damage to Mark Cloutman's car. It's just stopped down at the old hairpin, you can tell him. Yeah, he'd been waiting quite some time, wouldn't he? You'd have thought the message might have sunk in.
Yeah, I will go in for him. The car's not damaged, it has just expired.
It's just expired,
yeah.
It's just a mechanical issue, yeah. Okay, let him know. Give him some good news. Bad news is he won't be driving. So Dean Halsey leads the way, car number 240, number 69. Stephen Collins is second, and third is number 18, which is James Hughes. But he is catching the blue number 69 MGB Roadster for third place. Claire Norman is there in fourth place at the wheel of the BMW. She took over from Charles Tippett, and then it is Steve Smith now. The number 29 MG is safely in his hands. We heard from Jack, who was talking down there with Jack not long ago. Simon Benoy in the Hillman Imp now is inside the top 6. I did say earlier on in qualifying I thought Simon might go well. He didn't quite hook up qualifying, but he's had a good run actually through the order as Simon Benoy. So the squabbles still continue. As for Ian Witt, having taken over from Abbey, his grey midget is just working its way down through the bottom section of the Craner Curves and the old hairpin, and they did lose a chunk of time. They are now down to 21st position. Such was the time that they lost in their pit stop, so it really didn't work out for them in the end. Now, on the basis of it's as quick as you can pit, there are going to be no penalties issued for people, I wouldn't have thought, like we saw yesterday, where pit stops were too short. And how long have we got to go in this race? 12 minutes still remaining. Now, James Hughes, crumbs, there's a little bit of contact there. James Hughes was trying to dive his way around the outside of somebody, going in towards the braking area for Goddard's, and I think it was Adam Cunnington that he bashed into the side. Yeah, you can see there's a little bit of scrawking down the left-hand side of the number 18 Sprite as it heads up towards the braking area for Redgate Corner. He was desperate to try and pick his way through the back marker traffic. That back marker traffic is also trying to work its way past and through and past the number 69 car of Stephen Collins, and that would be 4th position if he can get past Stephen Collins. They'll be heading down through the Craner curves currently. Our race leader is just turning his way through the old hairpin. Dean Halsey still leading the way. In second place is number 69, Stephen Collins. And then right behind him now is the number 18 car of James Hughes. So James Hughes, despite that little bit of contact and those little scrawps down the side of the car now, he's there in 3rd place and is hot on the heels of the largely blue MG with the white stripe down the centre of it. It's just heading up towards McLean's.
Yeah, return to the commentary box after being the bearer of bad news for Carl Kilby. We've got a brilliant battle going down towards turn 1 at the moment. That will be, I've lost them, that'll be Ian Witt trying to carve his way back through the order as well. There's a good battle we've got on screen as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That is James Hughes, who is now fully up onto terms with Stephen Collins. The MGB under pressure from the Lenham Sprite that sits behind James Hughes. Jinks out to the right-hand side of the circuit. He's trying to draw himself alongside, but he's on the outside line going in towards the Fogarty S's, so he'll have to tuck back behind once more, and he compromises his speed all the way through the Fogarty S's, and actually then has one of the slower back marker cars, which is Adam Cunnington, work his way through and past. So he was looking to gain a place over Stephen Collins. He actually lost a place to a car that's further down through the order. Adam Cunnington qualified car number 156 in last position, but the pace of that car now is quite staggering. Where is he in the race order? Car number 156. He is in 16th position, car number 156, but he's going well, I've got to say.
He is indeed, and for that of James Hughes, obviously those two came to blows just a couple of laps ago, and like you said, going for the overtake, and he now finds 2 cars a lap adrift in front of him. I think one of them has just dipped away now, but for James Hughes, he's got plenty of work to do to try and catch up and back onto the coattails of Stephen Collins in that MGB. Race leader Dean Halsey, he's just doing everything he needs to do, working his way through the old hairpin. Best part of an 8-second lead last time through, fastest lap of the race. Simon Benoy, he's got back out there and he's pushing on.
Yeah, 1 minute 51.353 from Simeon Chodosh, who will be rattling his way over the start-finish line, I would have thought, before too much longer. And that will be another lap chalked into the book for his car. Yeah, he's just on the Melbourne Loop at the moment. Now, we do have the change of surface flag out on the approach towards Goddard's. Now, whether that's because of a little bit of bodywork that's been flicked off as a result of that contact between James Hughes and Adam Cunnington, or whether there's something else down there that we can't quite see, but the yellow and red striped flag is being shown. We've got 8 3/4 minutes to go in this one. Here comes Simeon Chodosh over the start-finish line. Is it going to be another new fastest lap for him this time through? He gains another place over Sean Hadrell at that time through, and sets another fastest lap as well, despite the overtake. 1 minute 50.228 now is the fastest lap of the race that we've had. So Simeon Chodosh showing he's still got some good pace in that car.
Yeah, he really does, whatever the issue was, and potentially dropping oil as well, we heard, for a short while as Jack Smith got caught out on that one. The incident involving 18 and 156. That's the incident you spotted, Mark, between James Hughes and that of Adam Cunnington will be investigated after the race. Simeon Chodosh working his way through and past yet further traffic. This time Bob Fisher. Out of the final corner comes James Hughes, and unfortunately into the pit lane comes that car of Adam Cunnington. Was it slightly smoky on the way in? No, I don't think it was, but whatever's going on with that car, clearly not all is well.
No, such a shame for Adam Cunnington. So he had a good turn of pace. So James Hughes sideways going in towards Redgate Corner. You could see the steering input being put in just to keep the tail end in check of the Lenham Sprite. He will now try and fully focus his attentions on trying to close up the 2.5 second gap that exists between himself and the number 69 MGB of Stephen Collins, who is in the process of dealing with traffic. He sneaks through and past the Ford Anglia of Greg Rumble. So that's the car in 24th place that he's now placed a lap on, and then it doesn't stop from there, because the next car that he's then going to want to try and squeeze his way through will be the Mini of Clive Tong, who's now jumped on board for the second part of the race. So, you know, you might think you're heading towards the tail end of the race and you can just sort of cement your position, but when you're getting caught from cars behind and you've got traffic to deal with, there is no let up, is there? You've still got to drive flat out.
No, if anything, the latter stages of the race are even busier, because you could be checking your mirrors and not see anybody you recognise, but that could be post pit stop, so you don't know if you're racing them or not. Simon Chodosh screaming over the start finish line, absolutely flying, unfortunately, into the pit lane. Simon Benoy.
So Simon Benoy sadly in the Hillman Imp into the pit lane. For Simon Chodosh has just gained another place as well, actually. That was over Ian Staines as they went down the start finish straight. And so, yeah, Simon Benoy, no obvious signs as to what his problem is, but as you say, code 60 coming out, unfortunately. Now, the reasons for the code 60, again, as we peer through what we can see on our closed circuit television screen, I can't see anything.
Dean Halsey saw it rather late and came out of the Melbourne loop and was very, very sideways indeed. A couple of cars, I think, not necessarily the quickest on the uptake of the code 60 flag.
I'm quite surprised, to be honest, that Bob Lyons, at least a couple of cars overtaken there, and that was quite some time after the code 60 came out, so I suspect he will be pointed in the general direction of race control at the end of this race to explain himself.
Yeah, you should imagine so. There was somebody else over the far side of the circuit, couldn't quite pick up exactly who it was, but I think, again, they were rather slow on the uptake. The reason for this code 60 still isn't sort of available to us. We're trying to figure out exactly what it is. Marshall's running out to pick up pieces of bodywork at Goddard's.
Yeah, maybe it's the debris that's there. I mean, that was still as a result of the Adam Cunnington and James Hughes squabble. I just saw that little bit of bodywork fly off, but it was close towards the edge of the racing line, but had been there for a while, I think, without anybody hitting it. So 5 minutes to go. Hopefully, if that's what it was, it would just be a very short code 60.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on the flag marshals to see as and when they bring their flags in. Green flags being waved. Unfortunately, into the pit lane comes the number 81 of James Atkinson.
So, yeah, it must have been for that little bit of bodywork there, and hopefully then we can then have the remaining 5 minutes without any such problem. So Dean Halsey still leading the way. He's just about to charge his way up towards McLean's corner on lap number 18 this time through. Dean's done a chunk of winning in swinging 60s over the last few years and has really come on as a driver since he first appeared, I'm guessing sort of 8 to 10 years ago now, probably, when we first saw him in the swinging 60s, which is still supported by Adams and Page nowadays. They've been long-time supporters of the swinging 60s category. Now, Simon Chodosh, I think, realised he had overtaken and taken a place on Ian Staines just before the code 60 came out, so he's now dropped back in his still correct position and rockets his way back past Ian Staines correctly this time. So through goes Simon Chodosh over the start finish line. And you said you'd spotted one that's disappeared. Neil Howe's gone missing. Is he somewhere?
Yeah, so exactly where Julian Howe has gone, I don't know. Spotted him anywhere. If he has gone missing, which TSL suggests, you should imagine he's done it rather cleverly and snuck his way behind a barrier somewhere, but he's not gone through, which could be another reason for the code 60 as well. Returning to the circuit is Adam Cunnington after a brief spell in the pit lane. He's been into the pit lane twice now. However, he is still out there and circulating, pushing on, trying to salvage what he can from this race. Dean Halsey over the line once again. And let's see what the gap is this time, by the time the number 69 of Stephen Collins in the blue and white MGB Roadster is over the line, fighting away with James Hughes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's James Hughes looking for the inside line. Is he up towards Redgate Corner? This will be for second and for third place. Stephen Collins just keeps the nose of the MGB Roadster ahead of the Lenham Sprite, so they are nose to tail onto the top of Hollywood. There's traffic up the road that they're going to have to deal with as they start to plunge downhill through the Craner curves. And for Stephen Collins, he'll be desperate to try and make sure that he meets this traffic in the right place. He's going to be decisive, nip up the inside of Andrew Tidmarsh as they head through the old hairpin. And James Hughes will just have to wait until the exit of it before he can squeeze his way through. So the order should still be the same as they head up towards McLean's corner. These two are only 11 seconds adrift of the race leader, Dean Halsey, as well. So through McLean's corner goes a squabble for second and third. A couple of minutes to go. It is still all to try and work out as to who wants to finish second and who wants to finish third as they head up towards Coppice on lap number 19 this time through. It's still just Stephen Collins that hangs on to it from James Hughes.
It is still just about Stephen Collins, but James Hughes has been on a mission all race long. He now tucks into the to the toe, jumps out, gets smacked by the headwind that he'll be getting on the run towards the Fogarty S's. Later on the brakes, however, is the number 69 of Stephen Collins. They emerge in the order in which they disappeared on the run down towards the Melbourne Loop. I'd imagine James Hughes can be later on the brakes, but he's a bit too far away. Claire Norman in 4th place is pushing on once more, but has got the quite the sizable gap up the road, but could come under pressure from the 118 of Simon Tinkler, who isn't too far away at all. Dean Halsey back over the line, side by side once again for Stephen Collins and James Hughes, but traffic plays a part. They'll have to go single file on the run through the final corner. James Hughes is so aggressive on the brakes in towards Goddard's.
He is, yeah. He's very confident on the brakes heading in towards Goddard's, but he's still not been able to unlock the door and sneak his way through into second position. He's sitting right on the coattails of Stephen Collins as they head up towards Redgate. He looks one way, he looks the other. He jinks out to the left-hand side to take a big wide sweep in towards Redgate, and he's going to go all the way around the outside as he did earlier on to pick up second place, but he loses momentum coming off the corner, and that offers up a glimmer of hope for Stephen Collins to try and fight back. They are side by side down through the Craner curves. Stephen Collins just about gets his nose ahead when they get to the first part of the Craner curves. He can't quite take the apex fully for the second part, but he's still ahead now as they head down in towards the old hairpin. There's more traffic just up the road that they're going to have to deal with as well, and that's another one of the MGB roadsters, I think, Bob Fisher, that stays out of the way. He doesn't want to buy into the squabble that's going on for second and third place. So through Schwantz up towards the braking area for McLean's corner. Stephen Collins still just about hanging on to second place despite the very best efforts of Jason Hughes. These two were separated by about 9/10 of a second in qualifying, but on race pace there is nothing to choose between the pair of them. Stephen Collins clinging by his fingertips onto it as they head through Coppice Corner out onto the Melbourne Loop. Goes our race leader for the final time, and it is still Dean Halsey that is.
Congratulations, YouTubers. You've made it to the end of Shrigleytube TV. Give yourself a big pat on the back. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you all next Sunday at 7. Bye for now.